Live.
It's going. It says it's going.
Is it alive?
I think it's going. I think it's live.
Live?
I think
What's
we're
this
live.
live? What's this live nonsense?
I think we're live. I think we're live.
It's like
We're live.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. I think we're live.
I think we're live.
YouTube
Live
says we're
now.
live.
My
What's
phone says
weird
we're live.
is it's not letting me resize. This is weird.
Well, you know, there's pills for them. They don't work all the time, but surgery sometimes does help you resize it.
Viva.
It's not letting me resize my browser.
Viva Live Vegas.
Super weird here.
G23 says can't hear y'all. G23, pull your head out of your ass.
Well,
Turn your
let's see if
speakers on, G23.
let's see if everybody can hear us. Can you guys hear us?
Hold on, let me mute, and I'll see.
YouTube,
Yeah.
can you
Live.
hear me?
Yeah, you're on.
All right, this is super weird. I'm not sure why it's not letting me resize my browser, which means I can't see everything.
Are you trying to screen share it and it's like locked, or?
Mm-mm. No, I'm trying to, like, you know, where you click it and it brings
Yeah, you
your
click the little, like
the little square.
the square, or you can like right click it
Yeah.
and go maximize.
Yeah, it's not letting me. It's not letting me go half screen, basically. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's what that little button up there means.
I don't want to hit that. I don't
No,
want to hit that.
because no, it's not like changing color or anything when I hover over it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Houston, we have
Okay,
a
well-
problem.
Well, ladies and
I'm just
gentlemen,
not
this
gonna be able to,
technical difficulty seminar has
not-
been brought to you by the cool and refreshing taste of 97% arsenic-free diet beef soda.
I'm just not going to be able to see everybody's icons at once. I guess that's okay. No big deal. We'll see what happens.
We're kind of an ugly lot anyway.
Yeah,
You
we'll
don't
see
need
what
to look
happens.
at us.
Hopefully, we don't have any other issues with it. Let's put this on live chat. See who's in here. Grim, Mystic Guns, Ape, Obnoxious, G23, what's going on? Daniel Pfeiffer, Republican, Republican, Republican River Rat. I never caught that it's spelled like that. Rich White had trouble. He had trouble over there too. I wonder if there's something going on. Moo. SS Pawn, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah,
All right,
Faust,
So,
before defense popped in.
yeah, super weird. I don't know why. I don't think this is a chamber thing. It's like it's my browser, you know?
I don't know. Could you open up a new browser window and see if that'll go full screen or half screen?
Yeah, I don't know the hell. I don't want to mess with it because if I dump, you know what I mean? If I dump out of,
Then one of us gets the mod power.
yeah, it's not worth it.
Ooh.
Ghost is out there. West Covina Dodge. YP's out there. C4's out there. What's going on? So, Moo, what's going on, buddy? How's it hanging?
Well, just hanging out, man. Just hanging out, grilling. Grilled out some chicken thighs on the Weber Performer today. They turned out excellent. Crispy skin,
Beat
Juice.
chicken thighs, man.
chicken thighs, and Montreal seasoning on it.
Mhm.
Throw it in there, 400 for about 50 minutes. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I did throw a little hoisin sauce on a few of them just to try it out, and it has turned out okay. But I usually do sweet and spicy Baby Ray's if I want to put sauce on it. Usually I don't put sauce on it because I like the crispy skin.
Yeah. Yeah, thighs are so awesome. They're super cheap too, man. Like if you're used to eating, if you're used to throwing like breasts on, and I mean you can get thighs for like a third the cost. It's
And way better flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
And my wife made a broccoli slaw. Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. She used the stems too.
She did not.
I like to use I'll tell you that's a good one if you have the stems to shred them and use them in like a regular slaw too. They're really good. They're really sweet.
Just use like a vegetable peeler, makes little ribbons out of them.
Yeah, or you could peel. Yeah, just peel the outside skin, and then if you have a mandolin, you'd send them through the mandolin, or you could just whatever. They're really really nice and sweet. They're good.
Right on. Next time.
Yeah, they go really good with that. C4 Defense says it's pronounced Montreal seasoning. Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like jalapenos.
Yeah, jalapenos.
Aluminium.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, I'm just honored to be among this esteemed community of panelists here. It's just I'm just having to elevate my game to be here with them. So I do appreciate the invite, kind sir.
Always. Ape, what's happening?
Not a whole lot, man. Still gainfully employed. Still working 6 days a week, making stuff for the COVID. I know. Otherwise, folks stopped by, did some landscaping outside, grilled up some Philly cheesesteak flavored brats, and they were really, really good.
Cool.
They got nice chunks of pepper and cheese in them. And
That's
then
cool.
we all went to the local snack shack and got ice cream.
Neat.
Yep.
So it's like a cheddar wurst with peppers and onions in it, or something like that, huh?
Not really a cheddar. I don't know if it's cheddar. If they've got it's got to be almost like the spray cheese kind of consistency stuff that they have in there for when they, because I'm pretty sure they do it all cold, so it all just doesn't make a mess. There's actually like chunks of cheese and like pepper and onion and all that. I mean, they're super tasty, and best thing is after you eat them, if every time you belch, it actually does taste like you just had a Philly cheesesteak.
No, well, you can't go wrong with that. Hell,
no.
Moo uses Philly cheesesteak mouthwash all the time. I mean, that's no big deal. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we tell him. It's Philly cheesesteak mouthwash, but he's not too picky.
Rob, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, always, man. This is a pain in the ass because every time I click on it dips my chat out. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Figures. Hold on one second here. Nah, the hell with it. I keep getting this. Are you guys getting a little notice down here from Gun Chamber? It says your microphone appears to be noisy. Are you guys getting that too?
I got that popped up once, but I just ignored it.
Yeah, me too. I'm ignoring it. I don't hear anything.
Wasn't noisy at the time. So.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything, but I'm on mobile, so I don't know if there's a difference.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it on mobile probably. All right, that's okay. I just wanted to know if you guys would see that too.
Maybe your mic might be picking up some background noise, so it's, like if you're kind of quiet, it might be picking up something and thinking that it's like static on the line. No, but I did notice that you got next to like your mute and your camera button, it's got little pull down arrows if you got multiple cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, Pickle, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, yeah, that's you guys got to me real quick. That's right. You just came up.
Yeah, it just popped up there.
He was bored.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's. I mean, it's done it for me a couple of times, so I don't know. It's weird. So what's going on, man? What's happening there, Pickle?
Same old stuff. Different day, bigger shovel.
But
is it the same pile?
It's California. It's all one big pile at this point.
So I'm every time I click on like the chamber or whatever over here, I lose my chat and I have to bring my chat back up. So if anything, make sure you tag me if you're out there in the chat and you want to say something to me. Make sure you tag me so that I see it, because I'm going to be having to go back and forth. This is going to be a pain in the butt. It'll be really easy for me to miss comments like this. So
we're not live yet, are we?
Operation. Yes. Oh yeah, we've been live.
We're live.
Operation Manual says kick the son of a bitch. Yeah, punch it. That'll work. So there's more of the same in the news, obviously, this week, but there's a couple of weird things, a couple of little tweaks and stuff like that. I haven't really, it's really hard to keep sort of up to date with what's going on in everybody's in all these different cities. Are there any cities that are still pretty hot? There are still a lot of stuff going on in. I've seen some. Minneapolis, that probably still is. But is there anything else? Anything going on anywhere else that's still active as far as protesting and looting and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know if this is or how much of a metric or good of a metric this would be, but on Wednesday I got bored enough to where I fired up the scanner app on my phone, and it's got on there. It'll do the top 50 active scanners that are going, because it'll show Minneapolis, St. Paul. There's 1,500 listeners or active listeners right now, and on Wednesday it was down to number 6 or 7, whereas all the ones for Minneapolis and Hennepin County and all that were the top 4 or 5, last weekend or the weekend or when shit really started kicking off. But it was the top one was Chicago, 8th district in Chicago. Yeah. Then it was one or two from LA. Then Minneapolis and that, but I really haven't heard a whole lot. But then I also haven't been actively watching the local news for Minneapolis or anything like that. Biggest thing I've heard is Fryboy, the mayor for Minneapolis, disagreed with the Minneapolis City Council wanting to defund the police department, and I think he might have shown up at a protest and people just went no, get your ass out of here kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some weird shit going on. You talk about Chicago too. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. This Lori Lightfoot's dumbass of the week, right? Basically, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if she won Moron of the Week on Budget's show or not, but if she didn't, she's going to win it here for sure.
So are we doing Wound Up Son of a Bitch of the week this week?
Sure, we can do one.
Okay.
You throw out there. Again, I can't see the chat right now, so
you can see the internal chamber chat, right?
I will be able to. Yeah, I'm screen sharing now, but I will be able to. Yeah. So, Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago, don't take matters into your own hands. Wary top cop and mayor tell Chicagoans after days of looting and shootings. Chicago police were overwhelmed this weekend as people called 911 by the thousands in response to looting, vandalism, and shootings across the city. But city leaders were urged residents to remain calm. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown said 699 people were arrested Sunday, primarily for looting. Of those arrests, 461 took place on the south and west sides. Police officers found 64 guns during the course of those arrests. Aside from the property damage, the city saw its most violent weekend of the year. There were 48 shootings, 17 people killed on Sunday alone. That's adding that 132 officers were also injured. They misspelled department. The police department was responding to these calls as best they could with a significant amount of additional resources on the south and the west sides. Mayor Lori Lightfoot said during a Monday press conference, the challenge was it was everywhere, she said. So if we had a police department 3 times the size, it would have been difficult to keep up with the calls for service yesterday. Now I know that's cold comfort, but I want to be clear that we didn't stand by and let the south and west sides burn, as unfortunately some people are propagating. That's just not true. The city's 911 dispatchers field 65,000 calls for service Sunday, at times getting 1,000 to 2,000 calls every 30 minutes. Lightfoot urged people to keep calling 911 and not open fire on people. Obviously, we're aware of the fact that Illinois is a concealed carry state, Lightfoot said. Do not take matters into your own hands. Call the police. We've seen tragedy happen in this country, and recently when people felt like they could take matters into their own hands. Let me remind you of the killing of Mr. Ahmaud Arbery. Do not pick up arms and try to be the police. If there is a problem, call 911. We will respond, but I urge people to show restraint and do not take matters into their own hands. So let me say that again. The city's 911 dispatchers fielded 65,000 calls for service Sunday. And then you skip down. We do not pick up arms and try to, please, if there's a problem, call 911. So when something happens, and you're one of those 65,000 people in one day that call, they're going to come and help you out. So
eventually, maybe.
Eventually. I mean, eventually they'll come and help you out. Maybe they'll shovel up your bits and pieces and, and put you in the back of a.
Now, this is Chicago's mayor.
Yep.
Well, of course, because they don't want to give up their control.
I know there's some cities that are, talking about defunding and or disbanding their police. Like, I don't know if Chicago is one of them or not.
Yeah, there is, and there's also I was watching a Tim Pool video. They were talking about one city. I can't remember what city it was, where they were. People were basically gathering together in almost, in militia, like neighborhood watch / militias / whatever patrol groups, and which is to try and fill in the gaps where police aren't, which is a hell of a thing to see. Seven Wonders says, yeah, but let's defund the police. Yeah.
There's communities in more than one of these cities that are starting to put together their own, militias.
So there is that nonsense. Talk about talking out of both sides of your mouth, right? You can't tell me that they have an unprecedented and basically unmanageable amount of calls, and then tell people that when they are when they need the cops, just let the cops handle it. Don't worry about it. Well, Scott P79 said something I was just going to say too. He says he loves the fact the crowd is sending him a SIG, Tread AR. Yeah, SIG is sending Tim an AR. Tim has come to come to the dark side. He has been speaking very, very pro 2A as recent. The dude that he had show up at his house a few months ago changed his, really started making him want to get something. Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? He said he was a child molester or something?
Well, I guess the guy had a record. I guess that's what he said. That's what I heard. I didn't hear that at the time, but he did just say that in a video, that the guy was a pedophile, or it was, something, So, and what's really funny is I watched not funny, but what's cool is I saw the video of Crowder's where he told Tim Pool they were going to send it to him. And I thought, okay, well, let's see what happens here. This will be interesting. Because I really expected it to be a Walther handgun. Because he's sponsored by Walther or whatever. But it turned out he was sending him a SIG AR. And I thought, okay, that's a big jump into the gun pool, right? And to go for not just from a small handgun maybe to something like an AR. Mm-hmm. But Tim's mentioned it in like 3 videos, so he's definitely excited and all about it and all for it. I thought, okay, well, the next couple videos, if he doesn't talk about it, I'm gonna be a little bit worried that maybe he doesn't want it, or it's too much for him or whatever. He didn't really expect, but it sounds like he's all for it. Either
that, or it's just one of those things where he's going to be like, I'm already in the process of getting all my shit out of New Jersey. I don't want to really draw too much more attention to myself than need be.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go far. He lives in.
He's like an hour north of Pittsburgh, isn't he?
No, he's out near Philly.
Oh, Philly.
Yeah, he's just on the Jersey side. So, I mean, I think he's like 45 minutes. I think he's like half an hour outside of Philly or something. He's not that far into Jersey. So, not that big of a drive or not that big of a move to come over here. But
I don't know. Just spitballing here for, say, if you're giving someone like the first gun to shoot or use, which do you think is easier, some type of a long gun or a pistol?
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. I don't think it's a bad thing to have it. I would say, I for home protection, I think a small arm, a handgun is better. For somebody that's, especially somebody that might be that's not going to maybe go out and get a ton of training or, living in Jersey too, how much, he's not a shooter. I don't know. I'm not going to say which one is better for any person. For me, if I was going to say I need one thing for home protection, it would be a high capacity, handgun. Just for maneuverability around the house and stuff like that. But I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't do whatever the hell they want either. And I think it's pretty badass that they gave him an AR. You know what I mean? The cool factor is there for sure.
Just trying to find this 400 tread. It's like a rifle, or is it one of those pistol rifles?
I think it's not. I don't think it's a pistol. I think it's a rifle. So here's the one
nice gift.
Hell yeah, it's a really nice. And I was really surprised when they said what it was. When he said SIG, I was like, oh, it's like a 320 or something like that. But again, that's pretty sweet. This one, people have been talking about this one for a while here, and it's sort of taken a turn over the last couple days, and it's that Omaha, Nebraska bar owner. So I just wanted to sort of go over it real quick and, get people's opinions on this, because it's in sort of, it has sort of gotten itself into a little bit of a gray area. White bar owner, which I don't know why it has to be a white bar owner.
Because everything has to be about racism nowadays. It's just I'll let you read this and I'll bring up a point that I'm going to make later.
Yeah. We'll just say a bar owner may face charges for killing a protester in Omaha. Okay. You keep saying white and black like it matters. Now to Omaha, Nebraska. That's where a white bar owner fatally shot a 23-year-old black man. This is a transcript from this is weird. This is a transcript from a radio thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so apparently what happened, I will tell you what I'll do. I'm going to stop.
A lot of people yeah.
And I'm going to
try and find like the actual story.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I thought that's what it was. I had a couple of them pulled up. So go ahead. You were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me. I had Discord open here. Anyway, was cruising through Never Enough Ammo's not safe for work meme thread on there, and they had something that it was like an excerpt from a TikTok video, and it was we'll just say, black minister up there kind of preaching just this little like dinky church, and said this whole thing about George Floyd, what part of it was racism? If he had been a white man, would it be racism? If he was an Asian man, would it be racism? And the whole kind of thing was, it shouldn't matter what color he was or what color the police officer was. It was just an abhorrent thing. There was nothing quote unquote racist particularly about this. You're making everything about racism, and you're losing the message that we need to be concentrating on. So, That's a little.
So one of the things that I'm trying to find so many of these articles they got so much info. They just overwrite so many articles. It's hard to find the basics. So the one thing that starts to stick out with this is a little bit of similarities, I think, to the guy that at the convenience store that was yelling at the girlfriend for parking in the handicap spot. Him and the boyfriend got in a fight. He shot the guy and killed him, right? Because with this story, you've got a guy whose father went out and pushed a protester. The protester then, I guess, assaulted the dad. When the bar owner saw that his dad was assaulted, he then, I guess, went out, showed his firearm, which then made one of the protesters attack him.
I think it was, his dad was like fighting one or two of them. The dude showed a gun. Two of them ran off, but another guy came up from behind him and tried to like get him in a hold or something. And the guy, he had the gun in his hand. He was trying to like, buck and get him off of him. And he apparently put his gun behind his, like just up behind his head and just shot blind, and it, took the guy out.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he shot over his shoulder behind him. The guy was on his back. So at first they were saying there's no charges. This guy's not going to catch any kind of charges. And now I guess it seems the guy has been arrested and may face charges. Now, I don't know how much of that is because of political push.
G23 is saying out in the chat, will you relay to Midnight that the DA did a press release and said it was a justified shooting?
Oh, okay.
G23, if you can
send me
put a link or just just put like quotation marks around the end of it, and
here
we'll do that. Or you can
made
G23 a mod.
I just made him a mod real quick. G23, you're a mod. If you can throw that in there, because it's such a new. I'm having a hard time finding the article because I'm finding articles that say he wasn't charged and then that he was going to be charged, and now you're saying that he's not going to be charged. So they're all popping up, and I just can't filter through them all right now. So you're a mod now. If you can throw that in there, that'd be awesome. So it's a really, really sloppy, muddy circumstance here, because not being there and not having it on video, which there might be video of it, which would be interesting, but if there is, it hasn't been released. Guns and Barbecue will send it to me. Okay, cool. Guns and Barbecue also said he keeps trying to hit the notification bell and it won't let me. It says the feature is disabled because your content is made for kids. I don't know what in the hell is going on with YouTube.
Did you have you gone into your channel and made sure that you made it for 13 plus?
Yeah.
Or do you have it set to where it's
studio? Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to go back in. I've been having a lot of issues with YouTube anyway.
Nurse Shooter hacked your account.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, Honda's kid was in his chat last night, so trolling him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I don't know what about this show is made for kids.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
well, I mean, if you take into account that everyone here has a maturity level of about a 12-year-old. Not saying that's a bad thing.
True.
Yeah, I'll have to go back in and do that. That's in the studio. Where is that in the studio? Do you remember off the top of your head? I can't.
Hold on, let me get into mine here. Where is? Let's see.
Guns and Barbecues. I think it does it for Kingpin too. Maybe it got itself switched off or something. I'll have to go back in there.
Let's see, is it settings?
John Brown's out there. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Jorge's out there. What's up, George? Foss is out there. M. Gabriel's out there. We are. Oh, also, I guess. Well, if you're looking that up, I will say tomorrow morning. If you guys follow Black Cat Outdoors, he did a video on it the other day. The rally tomorrow at the Capitol in Harrisburg was tentatively, like, officially canceled. But there are still the GOA and some other groups are still going to show up. There's going to still be a couple of speakers. It's probably not going to be a long event, but there is still going to be an event going on, even though it's going to be smaller. So if you are, if you're close enough and you can come, swing over. It starts at 10 a.m. It's going to be on not the fountain side, I suppose. 3rd Street it is. So
okay, man.
Yeah, I'll have to go in there and check that. I know I did it.
Go into your creator studio. It might pop up with saying, hey, say goodbye to Classic. Just click off that. So go into your studio. Go to settings.
Yeah.
Channel, advanced settings, and then it should say at the top here, do you want to set this channel as made for kids? And there's a yes. This channel is made for kids. No, this channel is not made for kids. And I want to review this setting for every video.
Yeah, I know I did it. I must have. Hold on. Who knows? It must have got screwed up. So I'll go in there and do that then. So if you're able to come, be awesome to see you. I'm hoping to make it as long as work permits and all that kind of stuff. We'll see with things going on. We have opened up for full menu now, which is we still can't do indoor seating, but we can do outdoor seating. So we have some outdoor seating, and we have just a lot of weird sort of ifs, ands, and buts going on. So I'm hopefully going to be able to go. So if you're around, maybe I'll see you there.
I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, where are you? Start driving. Get down here.
I'm too lazy.
Look, call an Uber.
Yeah, there you go. A Moober. You could call a Moober.
That would be a heck of an Uber bill for me.
Like a hay wagon. Hey, Midnight, did you I know you watch Rogan sometimes. Did you see the last one on when Evan Funke was on there?
No, I haven't watched any of the Rogan stuff in like a week or so. I just I've been watching other stuff.
It's him and his restaurateur talking about reopening in California during the COVID thing. And they were talking about the regulations. It's like a 17-page document on what they have to do for the servers to come out. They have to wear a mask and a face shield.
Oh, really?
And the diners have to wear a mask when they're not eating.
Right. Yeah, we people were supposed to wear masks, I guess, and nobody did. As far as customers and stuff, people just weren't, and they were outside. Now I don't know what our guidelines are going to be when we open up indoors. I think next week we're going to be able to do indoors at like 50% or something. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, our servers and bartenders, all our staff has to wear masks and gloves. So,
and they were saying it was going to take them about 10 days because they just got the notification saying they could open back up. They said it was going to take them about 10 days to kind of like bring staff in and educate them. And they have to log each individual employee's temperature and
really?
keep a logbook. Yeah.
Oh.
And of course now they got to order supplies, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy. I'm ready to go out and have a normal dinner out on the town like normal.
Yeah. Yeah. We had, there was with opening up outdoors, it's gotten a definite, it's gotten people, I think, ready for it even more so. They got a taste of it. Now they're like, all right, let's get to let's get going. Guns and Barbecue said, yeah, he would like to come, but he's probably not going to be able to. That's all right, buddy. There'll be another one. This one's going to be. If we can get 100 or 200 people there, I think it would be awesome. There's not a whole lot of room on the steps anyway. They have the barricade set up on that side of the Capitol. You can't go up the steps anyway. So they've been there since I guess protesters started.
Yeah. So I just found out
Okay.
today that starting on the 15th, that restaurants and stuff are going to be opening here. Two at 50% capacity or indoor dining while maintaining social distancing, requiring reservations and seating no more than 50% occupancy. Yeah, indoor social gatherings can take place with 10 people or less. Outdoor gatherings can take place with 25 people or less. So, I don't know. I know of one or two restaurants kind of in the area and down by where my folks are, they're saying we're not, even though we can start doing this on the 15th, we're not opening because we apparently they just got the binder from the state health department saying, or with all the new stuff that they have to do, and they're saying it's going to take us weeks to be able to make sure that we can even do all the requirements and meet all the requirements before we can even start, doing them or that.
Well, hey, Brad, question for you.
Yeah.
At 50% capacity, can a restaurant even really break even? I don't know if that's even a realistic number for them.
Oh yeah, it depends on how many seats you have, but it depends. Well, a lot of it too, I think, is going to depend on how restaurants are shaped too. There are some restaurants, especially in larger cities, that are they're really narrow. I know Striped Bass. If anybody's ever been to the Striped Bass in Philly, the Striped Bass is basically like, I don't know how wide it is, 20 feet wide or something like that. So for them it might be more than that. I don't know. It's really narrow. So depending on how their seating has to be set up, that might take, because you have to be 6 feet away from people. Who knows what that's going to do to their seating? And then, if they have to do 50% of that, maybe, I don't know. But that's part of that is customers. Like we did a 90-minute seatings outside because we needed turntables. And I would imagine that most people are going to understand that we also started doing full menu this week, which we've been doing a limited menu. So now the downside to doing a full menu is, one, it's harder. There's more work. It's logistically, it's harder to put out a bigger menu always, but also there's the possibility of more waste, basically, So if you can't do the numbers, if you can't do the volume, you're really worried about making the money, right? So I think people have to understand if you're going to go out, get cocktails, get food, do whatever, spend as much money as you want to. But if there's other people, if they're on a wait, and you're just sitting there milking a drink, how about you get up and let somebody else get in that seat and spend some money, because those restaurants need it.
Campers.
Yeah, I'm not saying that not every customer's, we don't want every customer to feel important or whatnot, but if you're only letting us have, if you're only letting a restaurant have 50 seats and they seat 100, and you're going to sit there and you're going to milk a draft beer for half an hour while you bullshit with your buddies, get up. Let head out, go somewhere else, and let somebody have that's going to spend some money, because the restaurant really needs it right now. And, so that's why we did reservations, and we had no issues with it. We just let people know, like, we've got a lot of people that want to come in, and, we need the seats and blah, blah. And everybody was happy with it. They came in, they had their drinks, they had food, they got up, they took off. They were glad to be there. They were excited to be there. They were glad to see, a normal dining experience for the most part. George says, Maine. Go ahead.
Do you guys have to serve food in order to serve alcohol?
In Pennsylvania, you have to have food available to serve alcohol. Yeah. Now, you don't have to have much. I mean, there's beer and shot places that all they have is like bullshit.
Chips.
Snacks. Snacks and
chips.
Okay, the reason I was curious is that's we're gonna here with our regulations, at least in Yolo County, that's I know because of the winery that I'm supposed to be getting married at in August. I was talking to them, and that's where every table has to have food at it in order to have any alcohol. So they have it's a standard if you order any kind of wine, then it automatically comes with like a cheese and a cold cut meats plate because it's required for them to even be open.
Oh, that's weird. No, I've never heard of that.
Do you guys have booths at your restaurant, Midnight?
Booths?
Yeah.
Yeah, indoors, not outdoors, obviously. Yeah,
right.
we don't have a whole lot of outdoor seating, which is the downside. We're not a huge place, but outdoors, because we have to have everything spread. See, now there's a lot of weird Pennsylvania laws too, like the LCB. Like you can only serve alcohol so many feet away out from the building. It's like 12 feet or something. So even outdoors. Now this is an LCB thing, not a coronavirus thing. So we're not allowed to just put people wherever we want to because of the LCB. So we're really handcuffed here with the LCB. We're handcuffed with the coronavirus. We're handcuffed with a bunch of bureaucracy and bullshit. And so we can't fit a whole lot of tables outside, which is why we're really, really trying to push, the reservations only. We're only doing reservations unless there are no reservations. Obviously, if we don't have a reservation and somebody shows up, great. But that's why we're doing the seating limits too, to try and move people. We gotta, and like I say, a lot of it is we had people asking for stuff off of the menu that we weren't providing. Tuna and I wasn't bringing in tuna because it's like super expensive, and I just couldn't afford to throw it away, in 2 days if we didn't sell it, because we want to keep the stock fresh. So, we're kind of, it's a give and take. Like, we're going to give you the full menu, but you guys need to understand that we need to get you moved. We need to get you in and out. We need to get asses in those seats, or we're not going to make any money, and we're going to have to limit the menu back again. So, it's been so far so good though. I mean, we had a good weekend. So
now are they still letting you sell drinks in sealed cups for to-go?
Yeah, we can do again. Yeah, we can do Pennsylvania's. Sometimes I say Pennsylvania's. I love living in Pennsylvania, and then there's other times I'm like, this is the dumbest. So there's some people here that are just
you like the state itself. You just don't particularly care for the government running it.
Right. Sometimes,
kind of like California.
So we are because of the LCB, the Liquor Control Board in Pennsylvania, that we're allowed to sell mixed drinks to go now, as of like 2 weeks ago or whatever. But we're not allowed to serve. We're not supposed to serve wine.
Okay, so what a mixed drink be? Here's some wine, and here's like a drop of water. It's a mixed drink. It's got water.
Right. Yeah. It's so dumb. So we've got a bunch of bottles of wine that we have that we're not allowed to sell outside. So hopefully once we get some seating inside, we'll be able to move some of this damn wine that we have. And yeah, I mean, we've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of liquor, and a chunk of that is wine. I don't know what our inventory of wine is, maybe 10 grand worth of wine. It's sitting there, needs to be sold, or it's going to go bad, or we're going to have 10 grand worth of vinegar. You know what I mean? And it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so arbitrary. And it just makes no damn sense.
So, stupid question for you. In the state of Pennsylvania, do they have like a specific thing that's best or tells you what is and is not quote unquote outside dining? Because I'm thinking in Pennsylvania, do they have like something codified or written of what is or is not considered outdoor as far as like dining and that. And I'm just asking because back in the early 2000s here, when they passed the no smoking in bars and restaurants thing,
Right.
they said you could have an outside area, but if it was covered or if it was built in, it had to have like so many square feet or so many square inches open space.
Yeah, I'm
just thinking if you can have more people in outside dining than you can inside dining, why don't you guys just, find some unemployed schmucks and say, here, we want you to take the windows out or put them on hinges, and we can call this like half of the restaurant here with no windows. That's the outside dining.
Now the whole restaurant is outside. Now I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. I'm sure somewhere there's somebody wrote down what constitutes open air dining and what doesn't. And now the question is, does that even make sense or not? Whatever they wrote down, who knows? It's probably something that's been in law for years and nobody even knows what it is. So out in the chat,
C4 and Guns and Barbecue are asking kind of the same question.
Yeah. M. Gabriel says you can serve mixed drinks to go, ? Isn't there an open container law? Talking about Guns and Barbecue, saying that too. Yes, they changed our law. Normally in Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to serve mixed drinks to go. They changed that so that we could do that. They should have done it earlier. States were doing it weeks before we were allowed to. Now all we have to do, we have specific sizes that we're allowed to do. I don't remember the ounces that we're allowed to do. And the containers need to not have, they have to be solid lids. Like they can't have like the straw holes in them to put a straw in.
Coffee cup lid.
Right. It has to be a flat, not a flat lid, but a solid lid. It clips on. And you're supposed to keep, they're supposed to
keep it like in the furthest point away from you.
Yeah.
Or like in a trunk.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be in like the little caddies, you know what I mean? So that people aren't forced to hold them. You know what I mean? So they're supposed to be in a caddy so you can put them in a trunk or something like that, all that stuff. So yeah, we are allowed to, they'll take that away eventually, but we are allowed now.
It's pretty much like any other quote unquote open container. Well, at least here in Minnesota, it's, yes, you can have a container where the seal has been broken or open. It just cannot be, sitting next to you, or I think it's actually codified to where if you have a trunk, it has to be in the trunk, or if you have like an SUV or a station wagon, it has to be in an area that's out of the driver's reach. And obviously you can't be drinking, anyone can't be partaking while the vehicle's in motion or even parked.
Yeah, at one time you weren't even allowed to take partial bottles of wine home, and they changed that years ago. Where if you went to a restaurant, opened up a bottle of wine, drank half of it years ago, you weren't allowed to take it with you. So if you didn't drink it, it got thrown away. So they changed that so you could recork. The obnoxious one, just have the kids hold it until you get home. Yeah, I mean, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if they get into it, that's all the better. They'll be quiet and they won't be going, "Oh, I want my Happy Meal toy. Can I have my Happy Meal toy?"
Yeah.
I'd say, what kind of loser can't finish one bottle of wine?
Well, it's not about finishing the bottle of wine. It's, you're out on a nice date with the wife or that, and it's one of those things where, you'd rather be just kind of sitting at home on YouTube, but keep her happy, and she's kind of a lightweight of, I thought the wine would be kind of better, but it's not really to my liking, even though I had 2 glasses, but I don't really feel like I can finish the whole thing.
Or legal limitations in some places as well. Maybe, even somebody shares a drink, but you're both driving separate ways later. So,
I mean, if Midnight's going to be running people through every 20 minutes, a glass of wine is considered a drink. So an average bottle is what, 4 glasses? So 4 drinks, that's going to take you 4 hours to piss it out.
It's actually, if you do a 6-ounce pour, I think it's 4.5 glasses, I think.
See, that's where the idea is you get the wife liquored up, you take her home, you skip YouTube that night, and you have to get
you can't see the chat, can you?
Yeah, obnoxious
No,
one out in
I'm
the
on
chat.
mobile. I can't see the chat.
Out in the chat there has a question for Pickle.
He
What
said,
kind of loser can't grow the middle of a mustache?
Thanks, guys.
He's now obnoxious. That's not that he can't grow it there. That's a snot channel. It's when his nose starts running, instead of getting it all like crusty on getting his mustache all like crusty and icky with the hair and the boogies hanging off of it. It's got a little runoff just where that little dip is on the top of your lip, so it just goes right down his face.
He's engaged. That's an erosion mark.
hey, I'll tell you what.
Chemical burn.
Growing your mustache like that is far better than the opposite, where it only grows in the middle, because then you're looking like you're a Nazi.
Like Honda.
And that's no good.
He is numb to hit you for open container if you have empty beer can on the floor of your backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not quite as stupid as, oh, hey, I pulled you over for a bullshit reason and took kind of a peek into the back seat of the back of your pickup bed there, and oh, hey, there's like 1 or 2 cans of Natty Lights poking out of this box here that you have full of crushed cans. Step out of the car and touch your finger to your nose, please.
So I know we totally super got off topic, but this
it's a Sunday chat.
Yeah, that's fine. This Omaha thing, I didn't see anything come in from anybody, any articles, but so now they're saying
G23 said that they pulled the story or he can't find it.
Oh, okay.
But I think he typed in Ohio.
Yeah, it's not Ohio. He might have meant Omaha, Nebraska.
You know, words are hard. It's one place. Omaha, Ohio. I mean, they're both cities, right?
I think so. So what do you guys think? I mean, so that's the first thing I thought of when I heard this story was the parking lot incident at where the guy was bitching at the girl for, being in the handicap spot, and she called him. The boyfriend came out and pushed the guy, and he shot him. So
that's true, but the father pushed the guy, not the guy that got in the shooting, involved with the shooting, correct?
Right.
So that would be a little different, in my opinion. But if he went out brandishing, I'd like to know why the father pushed somebody, and
right.
There's a little bit more to it that could change things that I don't know if we know, but.
And I'm in no way saying that this guy, as a bar owner, did any. I'm not saying he necessarily did anything wrong. Like, I really don't have. I'm not trying to convey an opinion here. My thing is, this is another thing too. I think another part of this is kind of a good lesson. Like, not brandishing or showing a weapon is not always going to de-escalate a confrontation. This guy went out to a confrontation, showed a weapon, and it escalated to the point where somebody did die. I think a lot of people think like, oh, I'll just, it's no big deal. I've got a gun.
My gun, rack the shotgun, and it's all good. Yeah.
And this kind of ties in too with some of the things that I hear people say about the Ahmaud Arbery thing, where, he went for the shotgun. Why did he go for the shotgun? He went for the shotgun, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, people, you can't determine what people are going to do. Like, somebody has a gun pulled on them. If you're unarmed, there's multiple things that a person would do. It depends on what kind of person what type of person that person is. Are they the kind of person that's going to put their hands up and stop? Are they going to the kind of person that's going to run away? Are they the type of person that in that split second are going to go for that gun and try and get that gun away so they have control of the weapon? Somebody with, Rob, I don't have any military background. You know what I mean? I know you do. Like, somebody like you is going to probably have a totally different response than somebody like me. Who knows? So I don't really judge on Arbery on that one, because people are saying like, oh, he went for the gun, so he must be guilty of something. I don't buy that for a second. It's just the type of person, that fight or flight mentality. At that time, he thought, I need to get this gun away or I'm going to get killed. I don't judge somebody for doing that, So this is a weird story, and it kind of, in my mind, it kind of ties into a couple of different ones that show things that can happen. And like I say, I'm not judging. I'm not saying right or wrong, but it's definitely all over the place.
Yeah, I think that's a hard one. It's hard to sit in his state of mind, I guess, from video. Did he know they were chasing him at first? And then when they pulled over, maybe he was shocked that didn't realize it was direct to him. And then, cut to the side, and the guy came towards him in the front. So, and, in that situation, if you're closing in on me with a shotgun, I would probably try to make sure you couldn't use it towards me if there was some type of argument or settlement. So,
try and close the distance
and open to the other guy in the truck, so he should have, turned. But that's, the whole thing I think was a bad deal in a sense. But a lot of people would state he should have just stopped right there and turned around and ran. It's hard to say if you're not there, if you don't know exactly what was going through the mind at that point too. So.
And even the turning and running thing, you have no way to know if that person's going to shoot you in the back. I mean,
exactly. There's no cover behind you. At least on the side of the truck, you had something. Because you may not have known that the guy in the back had a gun as well. So,
M. Gabriel says, "Does brandishing constitute the beginning of an assault?" Brandishing, the term and this is something that I saw in a.
It's more of a legal term than it is like an actual act.
Well, the term brandishing, depending on the state, I mean, I think they do sort of vary a little bit. But
it varies.
The term brandishing insinuates that it has been done to intimidate. I've seen that in in laws. That is
not necessarily.
Well, no, like we were saying, it does vary from state to state.
Right.
Like, I'll use Minnesota as an example. We don't have anything that specifically says you can open carry, but we don't have anything that's against it. And the guy I talked to, he was actually part of the, if you want to call it the lobbying team that kind of helped put together the Personal Protection Act. And it was basically, there isn't anything in there. So his example was, if you're carrying like outside the waistband on the hip getting gas and your shirt blows up, or you bend over to pick your wallet or pick your card up off the ground, someone can't call the cops and say, oh, that's brandishing, because if it becomes unconcealed in some states, they consider that brandishing.
Yeah. And I did, when I was, one of the reasons that I'm glad I found this, there was another article about a totally separate thing. And it was about, I think they were talking about the AR-15 that kid brought out of the cop car that the dude snatched from him. And it was, somebody was talking about Texas. And I guess in Texas, it's written in Texas law that, quote, brandishing, the term brandishing or doing this is, quote, done. It's illegal if it's done in a manner calculated to alarm. And I thought that was an interesting way to put it. Like, it's brandishing if it's done calculated, like if you're intending for it to bring alarm to somebody, that's illegal. So,
like creepy Uncle Joe, just use it to scare him off. Just use it to scare it off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Versus here in California, if you have a concealed carry and you reach up to pull something off the top shelf in the grocery store, and the grip of your a sidearm gets exposed, that's considered brandishing, which is against the law.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same in New York, although I don't see them enforcing it like that. So, I've seen people
obnoxious
things like
disclaimers are your thing, so come in and do it.
Obnoxious says it's only brandishing if you don't shoot. Yeah.
Just an FYI, someone should give ladies and gentlemen, Jonases of all ages, anything that we are saying now should not ever or now be considered as proper legal advice. Please actually pay a lawyer to do so. Once you pay the lawyer, they'll actually give you good advice, and they're actually legally obligated not to give you free advice.
True.
So this is not legal advice. This is merely spitballing and the views and opinions of some mildly informed idiots on the interwebs.
And once you've paid the lawyer, then you've got lawyer-client confidentiality protected as well.
Yeah. There you go. Pete says if you chase the man down and he dies because of it, it's murder.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's in Missouri.
Kind of like
Mem Gabriel's in Missouri. He said,
kind of like not the last one, not the one that he did on the car. The one Yankee did with after he did his one on modifying his Beretta 96. The legal ramifications of doing it. It's kind of sounds like one of those things where if you shoot someone and you say, "Oh, I didn't mean to," that might open you up for civil and penalties from that because it might be considered negligent discharge. It's just, I don't know. It's not the Texas law on that. It sounds more like they're not going to know really. They're probably going to charge you with it, but then they're going to have to actually go through and see what the intent was or the apparent intent was before they can actually make it stick. Super chat noise. Well, Obnoxious, you have a link. Come in, put your big boy panties on, and come in the chat and do it right.
That is. Dude in Missouri went to Walmart, open carrying an AR, was charged with a bunch of stuff in spite of this being a constitutional carry state. But this was right after. Yeah, we've talked about all that stuff.
Yeah, that was a big thing for. So with all. This guy just popped.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That's Sarge, right?
Yeah. This just popped into my head with all this rioting and other stuff. Kind of pushed the Aubrey case kind of right off the right out of the public conscious, kind of like it did the COVID for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's a count on all these missing firearms, like the one that was pulled out of the police car there. How many are actually missing? Is that going to become public knowledge? And is somebody getting in trouble for that? Because you'd assume that's would be like a sensitive item. It's not something you're just supposed to leave around. You get overran, firearms are like the first thing to go.
I'll tell you too. I mean, how many cop cars did we see sitting around on the news with their lights on, you know what I mean? Like stopping traffic or something like that. And there's nobody in it. Like I never really even thought about it until I saw that clip. I was like, holy shit, how many shotguns and how many rifles are in those squad cars? And the police officers that were driving them have had to get out of the car and go deal with somebody. You know what I mean? And had to leave their car behind. It's not like they get out and chase somebody and grab the AR with them to chase down somebody that might have done something. It's probably far more common than we think that those cars are sitting around unattended with weapons in them.
As for first thing to go or not. At least in my mind, it would kind of depend on this. What was going on when they abandoned the vehicle? Was it they got out to chase somebody and they had potentially had time to pull it out, or like the one in Seattle? The two in front of it were fire bombs or something because they were burning, and the one behind it's only been looked like somebody taking an axe to the windows. Yeah. Now, if you're more or less trying to get out of it because someone's trying to firebomb you, then there might be some argument as to the equipment inside might not be your highest priority.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Yeah.
Seven Wonder says the thugs. Thank you for that tip. Yeah. Well, I think. Yeah, we need another disclaimer quick, I guess. We do not condone people stealing ARs and weapons out of cop cars.
The views and opinions of Seven Wonders are the views and opinions of Seven Wonders and Seven Wonders alone, including whatever he did with his sister.
That's true. Yeah, anyway. That's an old wound. Let's not hack that back open.
Or not. I'm just adding
burglaries and lootings. Yeah, there has been. There was one, they lost 135 guns or something like that, and one I heard.
Wasn't that place kind of by you get hit, or did they
didn't
get
get any.
They didn't get anything. They just like smashed up and stole some other.
They didn't get away. The owner lived close enough that when the alarm went off, he was able to get there and catch the guy.
I heard in Georgia there was a gun shop that was broken into, raided, a bunch of firearms got taken. It wasn't quote unquote protesters doing it. It was probably near where the protest was going. But there wasn't any law enforcement responding to that one. Yeah. So it sounds like a group, of people, were more or less using the civil unrest as cover in order to go do something like that. I want to say like they drove a truck through the front doors or something.
Oh shit!
Yeah, wasn't there something in? Wasn't it Pennsylvania or someplace where like 5 or 6 Bank of America like ATMs got hit all on the same? It was that one. Yeah. It was on Tasty headlines because a guy like blew himself up trying to.
Yeah, the one dude blew his own ass up. Yeah, trying to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's when is a better time for chaos, wanting destruction, and stealing shit when you can just cover it up as part of plain old civil unrest.
You also don't have to. You don't have to be so covert about it. You know what I mean? There's tons of chaos.
What about all them people with the restraining orders and stuff like that? How long is it going to take for somebody to respond for, the prick acts to show back up with an attitude?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and that all ties back to what Lori Lightfoot said in Chicago. She's like, don't take matters into your own hands. Horse shit. That's the dumbest thing. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard anybody say in my entire life. Like, if somebody's kicking down your door, what do you do?
I don't care.
You run away.
Yeah, I don't care if there's.
You don't have the right to take a life.
Mm-hmm. I don't care if there's 60,000 calls in one day or not. Someone's kicking down my door, and potentially putting myself, my loved ones at risk. I'm going to do what I have to make sure that we walk out of there.
Yeah. Sounds like R2D2 on Star Wars.
I think Skynet has gotten
it's got a little funky. It's all right. We got it.
I think it's just right after he unmutes and mutes, it kind of like clears up for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Gizzard open carry. Look at his Gizzard's icon. He open carries an FAL wherever he goes. He don't care. He ain't scared.
That's right. That's right.
But he also doesn't have arms, so even though he has an FAL, could you say that he's disarmed?
He just neck carries it.
Well, we've seen that video of that dude robbing the jewelry store with his feet because he was in a wheelchair. So I mean, maybe chicken can shoot that. Maybe the chickens can shoot that with their feet.
I mean, you've heard of free range chicken. That's because they can shoot for free at the range.
You gotta be pretty desperate to try to pull an armed robbery in a wheelchair like that.
I don't know that you can.
Unless you got a V8 strapped to that thing or something. I mean, that's pretty crazy, man.
No, you don't.
I've seen some barstool racers that are pretty quick, but I don't know.
You just need like a weed whacker motor.
Tesla.
I don't know what city it was in, but I saw the video. Some guy, couldn't break into the ATM, so he tried to take it with him, trying to get on the city bus as a getaway. And the bus driver just closed the doors on him, so he couldn't get in.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I mean, you got to give a guy props for lugging an ATM. Those things are not light by any means. They are made to be very difficult to move. And at least Pickle isn't blowing up my speakers with that tin can string. Obnoxious one to say Pickle's mic when his old timey has his mustache. Obnoxious one, I would disagree because Pickle has yet to wax it and put the little curls on the end.
So I heard about this story, but I saw the video today, and this is a sort of a scary turn of like
happenstance.
Yeah, kind of with the police.
Obnoxious.
One of the stories I talked about the other I've talked about it before, but was the police officer that pulled somebody over, and the black guy, and when the black guy got out of the car and assaulted the cop, pistol whipped him with his own gun, left him like unconscious in the middle of the road. And they asked the cop, "Why did you not shoot him when he kept coming at you?" And he said, "I didn't want to be the next cop that shot an unarmed black guy. I don't want my career over, and I don't want to be all over CNN." I didn't realize that this is kind of how this went down, but so there was a Lower Manhattan. A guy comes into a bodega, and the cops show up. And this is, I don't know, Sarge, I don't know. I can't see the chat right now, so everybody knows. So I don't know if anybody's seen this. So this, can you guys see that?
Yeah, the guy's got.
Is it flashing?
No, it's not flashing for us. No, man, I can see that the guy came in with with a little dog, and he was like strangling it when he was trying to.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try because for me it's like flashing really weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on. So if you guys can see it, fine.
It's working. It's just that very slow mo of streaming through this.
Yeah. So
the deli. There's like the
guy behind the counter takes the knife away. The cop comes in. She's pointing a gun at him, and she totally and 100% lets him physically touch her. Like, it's crazy to see her that she did not shoot this guy. And the other cops eventually...
That is crazy.
The other cops eventually did shoot him. But that first cop, the blonde lady... God damn it.
You gotta...
Well, not crazy, surprising. In a sense.
It's the two triangles with the pointing to the left there, Midnight. Quick thinking. Well, now here, I'm just looking at, okay, so we're getting so behind the counter, there's already is that person on the left there like a police officer, or is that another deli worker?
It looks like
I can see the little thing on the shoulder.
I feel like they're probably a security guard. Now,
he left his dog there, or left his dog
all
there.
He had to do was, like, I can't believe he didn't pull her gun away. Like, he had hands on her upper arms and did not go for her gun. But, like, okay, so this is a repercussion of kind of one of the things that happens that's going to be happening to police officers constantly is they're going to be afraid to defend themselves. And I don't know that that's not good either. It's just another side story to what all this stuff is going on. I'm not trying to say, cops don't do anything wrong. And, I'm not saying that.
Well, I would see an officer as a citizen first, in a sense, which would kind of have the same restraints that we would have and have to keep that in mind when dealing with another person. The only difference is your job sends you to deal with it. That's my take on it. I'm sure it won't be popular, but if they have to answer for a mistake, just like we do, you're going to be more careful when you engage in things. So obviously that may put you at a higher risk, and the job's not for everyone.
Yeah. I think, but in this instance, in an instance like this, and I'm assuming that she had a pistol. It didn't say, I didn't read in the article that wasn't non-lethal. It could have been non-lethal, but I don't think it was. It looked like a pistol because it didn't look like it was yellow. The tasers are yellow.
Some are yellow.
So I think most of them nowadays are, though.
I can say from being up at the Weapons Collector show in Minneapolis, which it's the big Coliseum in the fairgrounds. It's this big kind of little stadium or medium-sized stadium thing. From the Minneapolis police and the fair police that I see there, the only thing that's yellow on that taser might either be the cartridge or the front of the cartridge. Because they've got in like a little cross draw holster, because you can see their M&Ps or their M&Ps and their Glocks are on the one side, but it's not like a big bright safety yellow or safety orange.
No, I'm
color.
not saying that, but there was definitely no yellow on that, and it's been a while. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any that aren't all black. I guess I can't say that. You're right, but a majority or every one that I've seen in quite a while has all been noticeably yellow, like a bright, bright yellow. So what happens when this guy grabs her gun? Like if he would have, instead of doing what he did, which is grab at her and then push her away or let her go, what if he just snatched the gun out of her hand and just started popping people? And Noxious says, yep, there's going to be some dead cops because they're afraid to be on the news. Not only
C4 saying yellow is optional on the tasers.
Okay. Not only is there going to be dead cops, but who knows, civilians, bystanders, who knows what's going to happen. It's scary to think about it.
Okay. And going a slightly different direction or trying to solve the problem with a different approach. This is in New York. How well would have this worked if Mr. Deli Worker back there was able to have, say, a nice big 12 gauge right behind the counter and just go, no, you're not doing anything. Instead of this being New York City where it's like, oh, hey, we found this little 25 that you had like on your person here. Instant felony.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, now in this instance, I'd say in most instances, if you pull a gun on somebody, they're probably going to take off. They're probably going to back away. In this instance, I don't think this guy would have. So had the clerk, and I'm not saying you shouldn't use a firearm to protect yourself by any means, for sure. But in this instance, if this guy behind the counter pulls a gun on him, this guy's probably going to go for the gun because he went for the cop in the gun. So, that's a hell of a spot to be in. Like, this you pull a gun on this guy and he goes for the gun, you better be damn ready to shoot him. And the cop wasn't, So there's a mentality there that, and I could totally understand what's probably going through her head too. Is like, oh my God, I don't want to be on the news. I don't want to be the next cop that's, that loses their job and has protesters around their house because they shot a guy. Let's see here. There's a clear
argument for the law enforcement. But as for civilians, to me, it seems like the idea of a draw to intimidate as a civilian seems like a bad idea. It seems like it either needs to stay away where no one knows it's there, or when it comes down to the point where lethal force is needed, then it comes out. But then again, I've never been in one of those situations, so I'm just talking theoretical. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. That's a hell of a tough spot because, and it has come up recently in a couple of chats where people are like, especially with the Biden thing. Biden's like, why don't you just shoot him in the leg? Burr, 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 burr. And it's, it's like, do you pull out a weapon and not use it? Do you use it as a tool to de-escalate, or do you only bring it out if you're gonna fire? I think that's I don't know, but that's a hell of a tough question, man. And I'm sure there's people that are gonna have opinions both ways, and I don't know which is more valid than the other. It's hard to judge.
Hey, Knives.
Yeah, Knives. What's going on?
Chocolate.
It took less than 10 years to go from cops, our heroes, rushing into a collapsing skyscraper to all of them being racist, out to kill black men. You figure out what changed.
The media, Patriot Act. I don't know, people just finally coming to the realization that, there's assholes everywhere, including in institutions, which we, up until now, were kind of held up as this is part of the cornerstones of American, I don't know, civilization or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Biden has no firearms understanding whatsoever.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, and somebody had brought up, I don't know if it was one of Matt's chats or not, somebody had brought up the Biden thing and, shooting people in the leg. And obviously, like, it's sure as hell not easy to shoot somebody in the leg when they're moving. Like that's a harder shot than a torso shot for sure. But also, like, are you really? You're really promoting people. You're really promoting people to shoot earlier, to stop to deter people rather than to stop an imminent threat. So what happens when that starts happening, where people are starting to plug people in the legs, and they're like, "Oh, I was just arguing with the guy. I wasn't going to do nothing." And now you got that in court. You got somebody that shoots somebody for an argument. Like, "Well, I thought he was going to do something, so I plugged him in the leg quick." Joe Biden told me to.
Well, I'm pretty sure in most jurisdictions, using a firearm is considered deadly force. Period. Doesn't matter whether it was a warning shot over their head, in their leg, or if you plugged them and blew their head off. It is considered deadly force. Period. End of sentence. It's not, just like, I'll bring back Yankees thing of saying, "Well, I didn't mean to shoot him." Well, yeah, it's safe to shoot someone in the leg. Maybe for you, not for the person you're shooting, but
so is it safe to shoot somebody? I'll say this too: if you're worried enough that you feel like you need to shoot somebody, shooting somebody in the leg is like,
you're not Arnold.
Your chances of stopping that threat by winging somebody in the outside of the thigh or something like that is not good. I mean, if somebody's close enough for you to, that you feel like you need to shoot them, you better be shooting to stop them, to incapacitate them. And your chances of incapacitating somebody with a leg shot's pretty much, pretty slim. A lot smaller than shooting them in the torso.
Well, what if your daughter's kidnapped and you're trying to get information from somebody?
That's what the Brooklyn Slugger is for. That's what the Brooklyn Slugger is for.
All right. Yeah.
Right strike, shoot somebody in the leg when he was aiming at the head. Shoot at their feet and make them dance. There you go.
It's that old chestnut from Dale Gribble. Back away from my wife, or next time I'll aim for the mannequin and hit you.
Let's see. That one's done. What else we got up here? Liberal gun ban quietly expanded, potentially putting owners on the wrong side of the law. This is a Canada one. Screenshot this. I pulled this up, but I did not get a chance. I was looking for an article and I couldn't find one.
If you accidentally hit their femoral artery, well, one, that would be a hell of a shot, and two, they're going to bleed out in about a minute or so unless you get a tourniquet on it. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's deadly force regardless of whether it has deadly outcome.
Mm-hmm. So
anyway, Canada is doing who's the what now?
They are quietly outlawed. Numbers are 15. This list has been expanded without public notification from the RCMP or the federal government, raising concerns among gun sellers and owners that they could have unknowingly bought, sold, or transported illegal firearms in the recent weeks. The recently banned firearms have all been deemed illegal retroactively as of May 1st. The new... Man, these... stupid pop-ups. The new list also includes a number of single-shot and semi-automatic shotguns and at least one Russian-made pump shotgun, despite being repeated claims that Ottawa's sweeping ban would not include guns used for bird hunting.
Yes, Revolver, you are somewhat late, but fashionably so. Even though you're quite ugly.
For a very important date.
Mm-hmm. No time to say hello, goodbye. You're late, you're late, you're late.
So,
Night knives. Sweet dreams, man. Stay safe.
At least 320 rifles and shotguns have been added to the original list of 1,500. The National Post independently verified 200 of the firearms included in the list. all of which will appear in the updated FRT, but not in Ottawa's initial order in council. A spokesman for Blair said the government is considering options for how it can make the list of banned firearms more available and transparent for firearms owners, retailers, and manufacturers. Trying to see if it says
what exactly all they've added.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking that up, guy that comments in 7 are going back and forth in the chat here with I don't know if you want to call it kind of like a dead horse argument, but an argument that's been brought up ever since they've let females be police officers. Guy that comments, my question is, if you request backup, do you want an obese male to show up or an average build 135-pound female cop? Seven Wonders is saying, Guy, that's a great question. However, a 5'9", 350-pound dude saved my ass more than once when I was in the campus PD, but I get your point. I don't know. It's very person dependent and situation dependent. There's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a fair amount of some of those, 5'0" females that kind of come at you like a damn rabid honey badger.
Yeah,
and then there's also some. I know at least one dude who's like 6'8", 350 pounds, and he's, I don't want to say pansy, but he can't take a punch.
I think that depends on the person a bit as well. Again, everything's not for everybody, but I've seen a few small, what would be considered small girls handle themselves quite well. Less they just work harder than the average guy, so they're better. So it is what it is. So
New York, are you doing a remaster of a 70s porno there?
No. No, sorry. That's probably another phone going off in the background.
He says, "Are you going to be
actually passed my local DMV a few years back, and we have a local officer here. Actually lives up the street from me. She's got to be like 5'7", 5'8", and she had a guy bigger than me all jacked up against the wall that was resisting. I couldn't help but laugh going by. So, there's." Again, I think it depends on the person, but she did look like she was kind of intimidated when he came at her. So, I mean, maybe,
adrenaline's a hell of a chemical.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough call because, you don't want to.
At the same time, if she did have backup outside, it might have been wise of her to kind of back up so people could see what was actually happening. Although it did look like an officer to me behind the counter, but still, all in all.
Yeah. And the thing is too, as soon as she came outside, there was other officers there. So yeah, for her own sake, I definitely think it, her being the first one in or being the one to go in alone was probably not a great idea. It's hard not to sound sexist when you talk about it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to say a female shouldn't.
Maybe in general across the board, it may be questionable, but I can state from personal experience, there is some girls out there that will surprise you. So
I'm sure.
Thanks for granted.
Yeah, sure. 100%.
Nope. King Travi.
Look at this.
We brought up a controversial social topic.
Boss is here. Everybody look good.
Oh, how we doing? Is everybody staying busy or what?
Look away.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here petting ammo dog.
Hey, come on, Calaveras. No smoking on the job. We talked about this before. There's ammo everywhere.
As long as I don't drop the hot embers and the loose powder, I'm fine.
Yep, exactly. Hey, look, if pirates can do it, we can too. So, oh man,
they're all extinct.
I know.
Extinguished.
Yeah, there you go. Of course, they're on a wooden boat. That made sense too, didn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I mean, the wood will just splinter. It won't actually contain the blast and make it worse.
Next.
What What's going on? What are you guys talking about tonight, man? What's going down?
Oh my God, we're all over the place, bro.
Are we? Okay, all right.
Yeah, we were just discussing how sexist Midnight Range TM is, and Seven and Guy that comments is for saying that there shouldn't be women police officers.
Wait, Midnight Range is what's wrong with being sexy? He can be sexy. Oh, sexist. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Well, such a fine line between clever and stupidity. So
no, we watched that. There was they watched the video of a guy in Manhattan that came into a bodega with a knife. The clerk disarmed him. He took the knife away from the guy, and a female police officer came through the door with a weapon drawn, and the guy basically just walked at her, got hands on her, and when she went back through the door, she didn't shoot. When she got outside, he came outside too, and another officer shot and killed him. And it just sort of brought up a discussion of how cops are going to be unwilling to possibly pull the trigger when they should right now.
Yeah.
And it also brought up a conversation about female police officers and whether they, how they should or shouldn't handle themselves in the line of duty. Should she have been the first one to go in this place? And how should it have gone? It was just a little back and forth, just open discussion.
Now that actually brings up a question, since we only see, as this is already happening, did they have a little alarm that sent off and these people are on their way, or was this just kind of oh, hey, there is a cop walking into the bodega because, hey, it's lunchtime, I want to go get something to eat, and this just happened?
Well, it's like any of these videos, you just get a snippet.
Right.
You don't know all the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll come out the rest of the story 3 or 4 days later when everybody's all pissed off, burning everything.
Mm-hmm.
It'll turn out that the shop owner was under the influence of meth, and
That's not bad.
The rest of the story.
It just got in
another month after that, another piece will come out.
Oh
yeah. Actually, another question. This is more kind of on topic, but really not. What the hell kind of a word is bodega? I mean, it sounds to me from listening
South
to Tim and you guys.
Yeah,
it sounds kind of like an Eastern U.S. kind of thing. Because
ask the teacher.
Yeah, little. Go ahead. Whoever. Who's the teacher? Is Grim Knighty here?
Oh, you're the teacher.
No habla español dos
I associate it with there you go. Hey, that was pretty good actually. I don't teach them that in class though. Bodega, I think when I think of East Coast, I think of Puerto Rican origin of the word to mean a little shop or a store, because that's essentially what it is, like a small market,
basically like a corner store.
Corner stores that make sandwiches, things like that. Sometimes you can get your malt liquors, goat cheese, all that type of stuff in these places.
I suppose it could be any ethnicity, but I mean, I usually associate with maybe the Puerto Rican population that kind of started some of the markets in that area.
Wait a minute. So you're saying it's a place where I can possibly get, say, a car battery, a smoke detector, a 40 malt liquor, and some jalapeno goat cheese?
Dude, that's like any gas station in Texas. Okay, you don't have to go to East Coast to get that. And you can get yourself a Dish Network satellite set up, and you can get usually like fried fruit pies too. They usually have those too. So, yep.
And some street fudge.
No. Street fudge is we don't sell it in stores. It is a direct market. It is a direct market model. We cut out the middleman so we can get more profit. I mean, pass the savings on to you.
Well, because nobody wants to be the middleman.
Well, yeah, no one wants to really put the squeeze to get that kind of juice. Anyway, sorry, I'm about to really.
That was a poor choice of words.
This just got strange.
Fudge Falcon's a proud profession. I mean, somebody's got to pack the fudge.
That's true.
What? Is this jail talk?
No, this is the Closers Sunday night only on YouTube.
Whatever you make it into.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have serious topics. We'll just go completely off the rails. We'll get into some dark rabbit holes. And at the end, we'll all be certain that we're not really sure what happened, but we killed most of the afternoon and no one went to the hospital.
So P11, that was some pretty cool lightning video you had the other day. I had it at the same time over here in Michigan.
Yeah, unfortunately my camera kept going out of focus, but that's typical what we get for thunderstorms. Like literally every second there's lightning going off. Hours, man.
Looks like disco lights, and it's like the thunder just never stops, just rumble, rumble, rumble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you got all that wide open area. It's got all that space to like build up steam and just kind of roll through. You got nothing to like break it up or sap the energy of, oh, hey, it's got to go around this mountain, or hey, there's this big valley to where it drops all this moisture in.
Well, we tend to usually comes from Honda territory, usually builds momentum as it comes out of Colorado, and then it hits the warmer air and it mixes and then it gains momentum and it gets pretty intense. So
that's from all his hot air.
As if it's coming out of Honda's territory, does it get a contact high from the rain?
You see, that's what it is. There was absolutely no swarms of drones flying over P11. It was all that damn ganja residue coming in, just messing with people's minds.
Oh no, dude! I saw for months. Like I would see the drones almost nightly, like just hovering over town. I mean, I'd taken some pictures of them and stuff, but yeah, I mean, and you could sit there and watch them actually fly over. So I did see them. I'm not losing my mind on that and there were a lot of people around town that were taking pictures of them and stuff.
Did they ever figure anything out on those?
I heard everything from just nighttime surveying to utility lines that were checking to see which lines were hot and which ones were dead. I heard fracking scanning, and I've also heard that there's companies that are doing digital mapping of the entire U.S. for selling routes for drones. So if I'm a farmer and I've got a huge field and I want to patrol my field, I could buy a pre-made map that could just pop in an SD card in the drone and it'll fly over and take video. But that has to be those coordinates have to be programmed into like what their tractors do with GPS these days. They basically drive themselves.
Yeah, pretty much. The skies.
Yep. I mean, and the thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's hobbyists." No, these things were freaking huge. I mean, they look like the ones like you see the Air Force flying and stuff. And there's some big mother
like a flying car table.
Cheap.
Yeah, no, these things were big. I mean, I heard maybe like maybe 9 or 12 feet wide or something like that. I'm not talking like little ones you buy at Walmart. I mean, these things were they had some.
They've in the last couple of years they've really come a long way in making them super efficient. But in order for them to be that efficient, one, they've got to have huge batteries. I'm talking like batteries that are the size of like the 100-pack of 223s and stuff like that. And in order for them to be real efficient, they've got to have fairly large motors so they can turn at a low RPM, and they've got to have big props on them so they can really take advantage of all that energy.
Just line your ceilings with tin foil to be safe.
Well, and what's weird is it was a very distinct zone. It was basically Colorado, Wyoming, and like western Nebraska, and they did eventually kind of move themselves east. But yeah, no, I saw them a couple times, just hovering on like the horizon, just sitting there, But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it was like January or February, so it was sub-zero outside when they were out. I think maybe they were doing winter testing on them too, because it was super cold out when those guys were out there to see how well they handled the elements. Because they would not be out if there's any kind of a storm going on. Like if there's a winter storm or anything, you wouldn't see them. I mean, they would only be out on clear nights.
Yeah, because the cold really will zap batteries for performance.
Plus, where I'm at, it's where I used to live, it's very sparse. So you're not going to get tons and tons of people calling in. But I've seen pictures of them like hanging out over Denver too. But then again, people confuse them with the Starlink thing that you see up in the sky. I've never seen that yet, but that's like the Elon Musk space internet thing that he's been pushing or whatever. So a lot of people think that those are UFOs because there's like 8 or 12 of them in like a line or something.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they've got it where it takes them like a week or so to where they'll actually like spread out in their orbit. I mean, they all start bunched up in a 50-foot long fairing, but then just through how they're deployed in atmospheric drag and that, they'll eventually like space themselves out equal distance. And then maybe Yankee will be able to have internet to where he can not freeze every 30 seconds.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know why he doesn't buy his own tower.
He has from like AT&T or Verizon or whoever he has one of their like semi-industrial repeaters, and that's he's so far out in the boonies that even with that repeater they barely get any signal. Attempt number 3. Gabriel, are you putting riddles out in the chat here?
So what Yankee needs to do is go find somebody who lives at the bottom of the mountain and then go to monoprice.com and buy about 6 miles of Ethernet cable and then just run it down the mountain and plug it in when he needs it.
Yeah, but unless it's like some of that high voltage power over Ethernet stuff, you got to have a base station to like boost the signal every 100 yards or so.
Well, there you go. It's a project right there. Yeah.
So next bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful Tom Arnold. If anybody knows who Tom Arnold is, he used to be married to Roseanne. He was a comedy writer and he's an actor and not a very funny guy, but he's a super weird dude.
She is so hot.
Yeah.
She might have been at one time.
She's crazy, but she's legitimately crazy. He's just fucking weird. Threw out a tweet. I guess it was this morning or last night. And his tweet was to Rob Reiner, which is super weird to Rob Reiner anyway. It says, Second Amendment is for everyone, including black men with long guns, but it's fucking time for us white liberal men to stand up for our brothers and sisters, borrow our dad's hunting rifles, and go nose to nose with Trump's gang of misfit tools. Let's do it at Rob Reiner, # Black Lives Matter. So, what the fuck he's saying?
Can I borrow your hunting rifle? I gotta go kill Trump.
So, I love how they play armchair commando from behind the gates of their secure community. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, things like kind of the crazy part is I don't know if he's in California or not. Probably. He's had so many run-ins with the law over the years, and drug charges. He's been in rehab a bunch of times. There's no way in hell this guy would even be allowed to have a gun.
Well, I know he's in Hollywood. The rules don't really apply to people who have money.
Sure do if you go toting a gun around trying to start a war, trying to start an insurrection. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring this one up as a point of ridiculousness, and
starting with borrowed guns.
Yeah, start with borrowed guns. Get your old man's hot six.
Those of us that can't have guns, get your dad's gun.
Yeah, if you're not allowed to have a gun, just borrow your old man's hot six that he uses for deer. Head your ass to the Washington D.C. and let's make some shit happen. It's basically and go and Trump's
Jesus.
Yeah.
So Revolver saying when you all get a chance, check a 25-second video called Bob Hope and Zombies and Democrats. Revolver, is that on Instagram or the Tiki Tik or whatever it is? All right, sorry.
That's all right. How come guy that comments can say that and I can't?
Yeah, Seven Wonders apparently is on some type of list where he can't type in ape, he can't type in SS pawn because it has SS. And apparently there's a whole lot of words that Seven can't type in he types in, but YouTube just doesn't put his comment through. Which I've noticed that when I've tried typing some more colorful things on Honda's late night.
Mm-hmm.
Seven's on a lot of lists, starting with the schools.
Well, I mean, only the elementary schools. I mean, no one can prove anything on that high school thing yet. Sorry, Seven. I wasn't supposed to say anything about that, was I?
I tried to. I was trying to find his criminal record, and I couldn't. I couldn't find anything. I was interested to see what he's been
charged with, or
he's been charged with. There's some articles that pulled up that he's said that he's committed crime, that he was charged with crimes that he didn't commit, and he confessed to crimes he didn't commit and stuff. Like he did. He's had a really bad drug problem. He probably said that he did things that he doesn't remember doing because he was high.
At that time.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, that sounds like I probably did that. I was so blasted out of my mind, I don't remember."
Well, wait, hold on. If ignorance of the law is not an excuse, is unsobriety of the law an excuse? No, no. I see Calaveras roboting back and forth there with his head shaking.
Is your parent a senator?
Depends. Is this Sin City?
Do you like gladiator movies?
And long walks in the rain while drinking pina coladas?
We did read my wife and I read an article somewhere that I don't know what state it was in, or if there was some kind of a push where if you're intoxicated, I don't know what the deal is. If both parties are intoxicated, you could never use rape as a defense.
Yeah, I've heard stuff.
Yeah. I was like, what? Jeez.
Yeah.
No, that seems crazy, Travis.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they were trying to push a law, some kind of revision on the law or statutes about that. And I'm like, well, how do you prove that? What, do you get a blood test at the time when you call the police and say, oh, I was raped, and then they're going to do a blood draw, or they're going to do some sort of a field sobriety test at that point, or what? So how do you even determine that?
This is James Reeves with TFB TV with my shorts.
short with my snuggies. That's a whole different kind of snuggie.
I don't have my cup on.
You've seen snuggies that are like little blankets. These are snuggies that are just they're snuggies because they're so short and tight.
Pigs in a blanket.
So Annie, okay. I just got a text that said, talk about what Travis just said. So the wife's listening. She said, talk about what Travis just said. And that you're talking about, I'm assuming she means when both parties are drunk.
Yeah. If you
that could be like out to dinner with a drink, and then that could be, it doesn't take certain people, it doesn't take very much to be over the 0.08, or there's, those liquor candies and stuff like that. And, what would define drunk? That would be the question. And how would, like Travis was saying, how do you prove that, say 3 hours, 4 hours later?
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, are you going to have to start carrying around a little pocket breathalyzer to
have an app, something that plugs into your phone and you blow into and records your blood alcohol content at that point, then it saves it in the cloud.
I'm pretty sure Apple has already made a add-on to the iPhone for that.
Yeah, they got them on Wish.com, right next to the full auto series for your Glock. So,
you mean the airsoft? You mean the replica airsoft parts?
The airsoft parts, yep.
And the fuel filters?
No, solvent traps, yeah.
And on a bad side of that, I mean, somebody with bad intentions can pretty much go to any bar and, find a girl that had a drink and basically follow her to the back and do whatever, and it's not rape. I mean, it does sound ridiculous in a lot of ways. I'm very shocked that would be a law.
I'm thinking about college parties and stuff too, where that stuff happens all the time.
$500,000.
That's it? Really?
So is this a repro thing or a?
For actual?
Sells for. Okay, so yeah, it's like the actual thing.
I keep trying to scroll. I can't scroll it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of annoying that.
Hey, my microphone is noisy.
Oh, and by the way, hi, Mia.
Yeah. So
she said hi.
Annie Oakley's Stevens Model 44 rifle sells for over $500,000. Firearms that once belonged to the famous American exhibition shooter Annie Oakley have always been some of the most sought after items, highly valued by collectors.
Here.
And Little Miss Sure Shot Stevens Model 44 rifle that was consigned to May 2020's Morphe Extraordinary Sporting and Collector Firearms Auction is no exception. This engraved and gold-plated single-shot rifle was sold for $528,900, becoming the most expensive lot sold during the May 2020 Morphe auction. Then an oddly shaped stock.
Well, it's made for trick shooting.
Oh, yeah, I'm just making an observation, bro.
I'm giving you the information so you're slightly less ignorant.
Look, man, she had thin shoulders. Okay, it's not her fault.
Well, she was probably small.
No, she was small stature, but I think she was fairly stocky by today's comparison, or I don't know, by today's rule, she probably would have been fairly stocky. And I know for being 100 and some odd years old, it's in real nice condition. The wood on it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
it's got a hell of a.
I believe they had some of their couple of her firearms in Fairfax, Virginia, at the NRA museum, but they didn't look nice like this. They looked like highly used, and
yeah.
And this also could have just been when they say belong to. It's like, oh, hey, you're a famous person. If we give you one of these, we can legally say, or we can have you say that you've used it, and it just like people today. It's, oh, hey, this thing's kind of nice. Shoot it once or twice, and it sits in the safe for 50 or 60 years.
This factory engraved Stevens Model 44 single shot rifle was custom made to Annie's specifications. The rifle is chambered in 25-20 Winchester, has a 28-inch barrel. Wow. The non-gold plated parts are blued, and the gun is fitted with deluxe walnut furniture and carved hard rubber butt plate. The left side of the receiver, as shown in the top image of the article, is engraved Annie Oakley. And on the opposite side, you can see similarly high relief engraved Nutley, New Jersey, the name of the town where Annie and her husband Frank Butler's first home was located.
Cool.
Born Phoebe Ann Moses, Annie grew up hunting to provide her family and mastered the art of firearms handling at an early age. In her own words, she had an inner love for firearms and hunting. Her love for firearms and shooting skills eventually led her to the expedition shooting world, and in 1885, she joined the Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West show. At this point in her career, she adopted a stage name, Annie Oakley. Lakota Chief Sitting Bull, who also performed in Buffalo Bill's show, gave Annie the name Watanya Cecilia, or Little Sure Shot.
So,
Little Sure Shot sounds like a name for like a competitor to the Rascal Rifle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is beautiful.
That's pretty cool, man. Got an octagon barrel going on. So it's a lever gun then, but
no, it's a single shot.
It's a single shot. Yeah.
You have to. You see the back of the trigger guard where it curves down and has that little shelf. You put the hammer back on half cock, and then that lets you pull that lever down, and it drops the receiver block. Yeah, I've got that pattern. I've got one that's that pattern of rifle, and it's. They're nice handling. They're as heavy as sin.
Oh yeah. I got I just got my Killer Case Hardened Henry 3030.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
With the octagonal barrel, and it actually weighs 2 pounds more than the standard barrel because the octagonal barrel weighs 8.5 pounds. So I think the non-octagonal is 6 or 6.5. So it does, yeah, man. Those barrels add a lot of dead weight to the front, which should make it fairly stable. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it was also. It was made in a time where it was a lot easier to, mill or scrape the corners off a piece of square stock than it was to try and get it all centered up in a lathe and turn it all down over that, that long of a distance without it warping or bending or tapering. Hi, Pink.
Whenever one of many firearms owned by Little Miss Sure Shot is consigned at auction, it's almost guaranteed that it will be among the top most expensive lots sold during that auction. We've previously seen her Marlin 1893 takedown lever action rifle sold for a little over $250,000, and her Marlin model 1897 rifle passing the threshold of $500,000 $500,000 also. So,
have any idea how many guns she had?
I don't know. I can.
Guess I'm foolish because, like I said, at the museum, I saw those and I was like, "Oh, that's her guns." And now they're auctioning off guns at her. So, I mean, I guess probably foolish to assume she only had 2. But
well, no, I mean, there definitely probably would have been like a rotation of, hey, this is the one I perform for, or 1 or 2 that I used to perform with, and then you know, it's like Jerry Mikulik nowadays. Look at how many different guns that just Smith and Wesson kind of push on him, saying like, "Oh, hey, do a video or promote this, or let's have a picture of this for marketing
makes
purposes."
sense when you think about it. I just did.
Annie Oakley gun collection.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of cool pictures. Double barrel shotguns.
Didn't she do something where she'd shoot chalk from, I think it was like a little girl's hand or something like that?
Did she used to shoot something out of her husband's mouth? I think he used to hold like a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah,
something.
I think that was one of the things they did.
That's kind of a standard, or used to be kind of a standard part of like trick shooting repertoire in that.
Now, is ammo consistency comparable to today as back then?
I don't know really, but
I assume it was probably a bit riskier than to catch a flyer. It might be more common back then. So
yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
I know like a lot of the trick shooters of the kind of like the interwar period, they'd use mostly 22s, and a little dirty secret, like if they were shooting a quarter out of the air, or like or like the little glass balls or that out of the air with a rifle. The little secret is it wasn't a rifle; it was a smoothbore 22 using birdshot.
Yeah,
that's funny.
There you go. That's what we need to do to get all the Karens and the safety Sallies panties in a bunches. Get people interested in trick shooting again.
Yeah, maybe we can give Tom Arnold a call.
Who?
Tom Arnold.
What's a Tom Arnold? Is that like whiskey and lemonade? Because I know Arnold Palmer is lemonade and iced tea.
Yeah, it's half vodka, half moonshine, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you use flavored moonshine, or does it have to be plain old White Lightning?
Yeah, it comes spiked with some wild mushrooms.
No, Tom Arnold is half cocaine and half failure.
Yeah, there you go.
Half vodka. Yeah.
Pickle, did you just go from a pipe to a cigar?
If not, your pipe's on fire.
Yes,
he did. I think Gizzard was a bad influence by picking through his his little cigar
man. He had
crazy tonight.
Humidor, he had like 6 cigars he was showing off.
He'll be give him 10 minutes. He'll be on a cigarette. Another 10 minutes after that.
Up out in the yard and light it, or what, man?
Looks like he's got a fire going.
What'd you say, Giz?
Did you pick that thing up out in the yard and light it, or what?
Uncle Lewis.
I'm sitting on my back patio.
Squirrel.
Well, Gizzard, didn't you know that the reason why Calaveras hasn't been doing a whole lot is that he's actually cultivating a special type of tree that grows cigars fully formed from the branches?
No, he's engaged. He can't do nothing.
I mean, he can do anything he damn well feels like after he gets permission.
My fiance is not that bad. You know, there's some things that she doesn't want me to do, of course, but
not
then again,
that bad. Whoa.
She doesn't want she doesn't want me to get killed before the wedding, because then then
the wedding's off.
So after the wedding, it's like, oh, here, honey, have this. Here's this hard candy that has this kind of chemical smell to it.
After the wedding's fine. Drive really fast.
Like maybe 6 months or so after us. Okay, it was kind of novel, but here, honey, here's a 1,000 horsepower dirt bike for you to ride.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I've got all the life insurance and everything signed over in her name, she'll be fine with it.
To me, that's a keeper.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, where's the fun in marriage if she's not trying to kill you like every 6 months? Keeps you on your toes. And just for the record, I am blind stinking sober.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was helping a friend do swap a cab over from one chassis to another, and she made the comment about make sure the tractor doesn't crush you in the process.
It's a good tip.
Yeah, I've already got buyers lined up for your organs.
Yeah. Wait 6 months, then it's okay.
Yeah. And she'll be over there trying to kick the jack out from underneath it while you're under there. Oops.
Here, let me help.
Yeah, here, I'll hold the ladder.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, honey. I'll make. Honey, is it the lever part or is it the screw part that causes the jack to collapse?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's an awful big ladder. You better let me hold it for you.
Mm-hmm.
He ties the rope to the car.
Can tell which which of you guys are married.
28 years.
Yeah. Moo's been married a long time.
Not to my knowledge.
Hmm.
I mean, if there is, she's doing one hell of a job of hiding from me.
Moo's been married 28 years, and he adopted Fine Ape 6 years ago.
Yeah, mow my lawn, you son bitch.
Hey, pay for the damn diesel so I can use the tractor, and I will.
There you go.
Okay.
I mean, every time I go out to mow, you like mark off more and more of the lawn. You're saying, "Hey, don't mow this. I'm going to eat this later."
I got it all marked off.
Yeah, and it's like 90% of the lawn. And then you bitch about the fact that I can't do a 6 foot wide strip.
Just one strip?
Yeah. First one's free, but you got to pay for the others.
$25.
No. Like I said, you have to throw the diesel in on top of that.
$26.
Dumbass chat. I forgot that I clicked on something in the chamber and it brought my chat. It dumped my chat out again. I forgot I had to go back there and pull it back up.
I thought he was referring to me and Ape's chat.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty freaking stupid.
It was pretty fucking stupid.
I mean, it's not even like a who's on first type of stupid, but somewhat funny. This is just like two old men bitching about something over coffee.
Okay.
God damn it, Moo! How many times I tell you not to let that damn dog shit in my yard?
Have you ever tried Milorganite?
Milorganite? I ain't freaking made of money.
Yeah, George is saying he has to always type the whole name. Yeah, I have to always type the whole name
on the phone. On mobile, you have to type the entire name, but I haven't tried this on Firefox. I've used it on some the other one when I'm using the Linux partition on my computer for like using it on or using the actual pop-out window. You can just do the @ in like the first 2 or 3 letters, and it'll bring up a list of people like that. But on mobile, it won't do. It won't do it on the YouTube app, and even when I've tried going through like Firefox and Chrome on mobile, it doesn't do that.
It depends on how many times you typed in the name. That's for there's some of you guys on my predictive text. It brings up the names.
Yeah, unless your phone decides to reboot itself, in which case it's like, oh, I typed the @ symbol and now it wants. Why is it going to Gmail for the last year? It used to be @ and it'd either pop up Yankee Marshall or Never Enough Ammo. Occasionally, it'd even pop up Gizzard Gary.
Yeah, I've been having some trouble on my phone with YouTube. I was saying it the other day in a chat. It's not posting. It's not showing me chats, like the text chat. The text chat will just stop, and I'll have to reboot. Like I'll have to leave the chat, come back in. It'll show me a whole bunch of text chats that I missed. It's really weird. It's not doing it all the time. It just did it 3 days, but it did it like 3 days in a row in the evening. It's really weird. Like it was fine during the day, and in the evening it started doing it. So there's something going on. They might be updating something, or something's going on.
Yeah, I've noticed. Something's off. Because like on Matt's Discord, on the announcements, usually AmmoBot, every time Matt does a chat, it'll pop up like maybe 2 minutes after the chat starts or the video starts, but now it's like 4 or 5 hours later, and then it pops up of, oh, hey, Trigger Time, or This Week in Geek is live, and it's like 2 a.m. and it was supposed to be at 8. Yeah.
Have you guys this has happened to me a bunch of times. Have you guys ever listened to a chat and, it'll end, and so, like whatever happens at the end, I don't know, somebody will say like, all right, see you next week or something. Mm-hmm. And the chat will stop, and then it'll say it again, and it'll say it again, and it'll say it again. Like, it's super weird.
I know. Yep.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? It's happened even in chats before, where people will just be talking along, and it'll happen in certain chats where people just go all max headroom.
Mm-hmm.
I've had NEA's Nightbot a few times on or whatever it's called on Discord, where on regular Tuesday afternoon it'll pop up an announcement saying the Monday night chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, the repeating at the very end, that I've noticed that just probably within the last few weeks. It hasn't happened a lot, Yeah, you'd be sitting there and you can't get to it to look at something else, and it repeats itself right at the end.
I don't know.
You guys ever have YouTube force quit, like on your Rokus or your streaming sticks and stuff? Man, all the time. I'll be watching and just boop. It just says like content not available, and it goes black.
Well, I
haven't had that happen on my. That might be like a caching issue on your device or whatever, where it just gets overlooked. I haven't had that happen on my Fire Stick, but I have had it happen on not using the YouTube app, but using the Adult Swim for watching Rick and Morty and some of their other stuff. It'll just
force quit on you.
Or it'll like it'll play like a few seconds, sit and spin, and then it'll be, oh, this content is not available. Check back later, and just quits right to the desktop.
I have that on my Chromecast, but not on my Fire Stick.
Yeah, and it could just be the 4K if it's trying to push like an HD 4K signal. It just can't process, or like you said, the cache isn't large enough to handle it, or the buffer's not there. We've got a 4K Roku player. It's one of the nicer ones that it's designed to run the best that it can, and I'm just surprised that it has that problem. But yeah,
we don't have a Roku. I've never had it happen, but I mean, I do have it dump me out of my phone every once in a while. The app will just freak out on me.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just could be a thing that with everyone still kind of cooped up, that YouTube's bandwidth is just getting horribly screwed over.
And Netflix and Prime Video. For sure.
Well, like a month or two ago, or like when the lockdown was on like its third week or so, didn't YouTube put out a statement saying, hey, we're not going to be doing 4K, or we're going to be trying to cap everything at 720p, or it won't like auto go up. You'd have to manually put it in 4K or 1080p just because everybody on their bandwidth was just getting,
I didn't hear about that. I just heard about Netflix downgrading the resolution for every other country except for the U.S.
I don't know, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, there's only so much bandwidth they can do for their servers without investing massive amounts of money in like new fiber and new hubs and all that. And as we know, YouTube is a very it's basically a money pit for Google.
Mm-hmm.
Heck was that?
Yeah, I had a long time. Like, it's been forever since I haven't been able to use really my emojis on here on my laptop. For some reason, it just doesn't let me do it. There's a couple of them when you first pull it up that it'll let me do, like generic ones. Yeah, like generic ones. But when I click the top, like when I click down on the different headings of them, like people or whatever, it doesn't bring anything up. It's really weird.
Yeah, it takes. Oh yeah, I just takes like a second or two for it to load up. I've just been doing the the 2 vertical dots and then just start typing like the first couple letters of whatever and see what pops up.
Oh no, I never did that. I never tried that.
Yeah, do like the 2.
Nope.
Yeah,
it says no emoji found or anything. If I put like rain, like colon rain, you'd think it'd come up with like a raindrop or something. It doesn't. It says nothing.
You got to use like the actual name because it's like just do like colon or that the 2 vertical line or 2 vertical dots and a heart or pizza or beer or something like that.
Nope.
Just start typing nothing at all.
No, it's weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I don't use emojis here much.
I just clicked on the emoji button for the first time in quite a while, and the second emoji that pops up is labeled as "oops," and it's a monkey with a hat and a purple jacket with a hammer.
Yeah. See, I have
think
that.
YouTube's coming on to me.
Like, I have that. It shows like the YouTube symbol and then the little monkey and then the buffering thing and all that. But then when I go
home YouTube and the
the
5.
Yep. When I go down and it says people, nature, food, activities, all that stuff. If I click those, nothing. There's nothing underneath them. It's really weird. So I don't. But it's been like that for months. Like I don't know what the hell. I don't know why.
Now, I'm trying to remember? Did you get a new laptop or?
No. Huh.
Okay, because that's. I don't know.
No, it's just one day. It just stopped. It stopped giving me it stopped giving me the emojis. Like when I click on mine, it doesn't show me any of them like that. It's really weird.
I don't know. Maybe you need to log out of your Google account and log back in.
Possibly. It's the only thing that's weird. It's the only thing that doesn't work. It's the only thing that shows up odd. So I wasn't really worried about it. But
monkey with a hammer.
I couldn't even tell what it was. It's it is a monkey with a hammer. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's got the tail and the. Yeah,
that's like either Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong was Donkey Kong is a gorilla.
Same thing.
That's what I said. It's a mini Donkey Kong.
Gorillas don't have tails.
Whatever. Some of them do.
I mean, it's like they took Mario and made him into a monkey.
It's when he crawled out of the ocean.
Wow.
That
was actually seaweed, or maybe he had some little too much fiber and couldn't. I'm not going to go down this path.
Do we have a wound up some bitch of the week?
Travis, what'd you put in the?
That was just how much money YouTube brings in every year. Or would have brought in 15 or 16 billion last year.
Okay, but do they have how much it?
No.
Oh, for the first time. Oh yeah, because isn't Google technically a private company? They're not like.
Are they traded?
Like trading on the stock market and stuff, or what?
Google's a traded
that's
company.
Just a small part of
No, because isn't Google owned by like a much larger conglomerate?
Alphabet.
Yeah, Alphabet. So whether that's like all private, because who is it who's on? Is it Infern? I'm trying to remember who on Matt's chats and Honda's or not. Yeah, Honda's chats used to work for Google. I'm trying to remember what his name is.
It might be Infernus. I don't remember.
Or it could just be a rumor that got started on Hasty Headlines or something that just came up in conversation in one of the other chats that Google does not make money on YouTube. It's like a money pit.
I've heard that too from tons of people, but I don't know how true it is. I mean, it could be true. I mean, just because, if they're using YouTube just to mine information, I mean, technically, YouTube itself might not be making much money, but the information that they're mining from it might be. So I don't know how much truth there is to that.
Google searches generated $98 billion in revenue for Google. The searches that came up from it, and saw all the stuff that people looked at and all the ads that popped up, and then they were selling your buying habits to all the companies and stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Travis's video is half off.
Always.
It's full on. It's just
all I can see is your eyeballs.
He's trying to be Kilroy. I mean, all we need now is just for someone to take a crayon and write "Travis was here" on top or atop his head there.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah. Now you see.
I thought you guys were talking about me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I am talking about you. Your camera's on, and we're only seeing like from your nose up.
I can see your eyeballs and your white pillow,
and your little lamp.
M. Gabriel saying you're saying that Midnight has no filters. Yeah, I don't. As far as I know, there's no filters.
There we go. That's better. That's better.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh wait,
chilling on the lazy boy couch, man.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, here's the guy chilling right here. There we go. He's just chilling right there. He's waiting to go outside and go potty.
Ammo dog over there.
Little corgi.
Puppy.
Oh yeah, he's been good today.
Now, Travis, I've got to ask. You said that's the lazy boy bed.
Yeah.
Is that a lift chair? Are you at the point in your life where you need a lift chair?
No. This is a couch. Hold on here. It's a couch. It's got the.
Hey, man, those things are nice.
See?
Oh, okay. You got
the pop out on it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I'm not making fun of lift chair. I've slept in many lift chairs, and they're nice.
I'll tell you what, I did get a massage in the $8,000 human touch massage chair at Costco yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
have you guys ever used one of those things before?
We don't have Costco in this state.
Yes.
Oh my God. It was the weirdest experience of my life, man. Like, you feel like your body's being crushed and stretched, but then you get out of it and you feel absolutely amazing. I mean, it's the weirdest. I mean, it's mildly unpleasant for a while too. It's really, really forceful. Like, people are like pushing, like, I don't even know how to explain it, like pipes in your back and stuff.
Like
I don't
someone
know.
taking their thumb and just really
taking a softball and just ramming it as hard as they can into your back and your. I mean, and
you can put your legs in it and your calves. Yep.
Yeah, you're in like this little cocoon, and they just like push the button and like inflates around you, like those arm things where you check your blood pressure at Walmart. You know, yeah. But your whole freaking body, man.
If you want for a lot cheaper than that, I'll put you in a trash bag and beat you with a baseball bat.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that's what it felt
about
like.
The same thing.
It was enjoyable, but also very uncomfortable at the same time. It's like, oh, my back. Like, oh God, ow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ow. You step up and it's like,
well, they have one. They have one that's 6,000. Then they have another one that's like 3,200. So you can choose what you want. The $8,000 one. Well, the 6 and the 8 had Bluetooth sound, and I think the $8,000 one had a different kind of controller for it.
Like it's a first generation iPad as its controller.
That's no. These had really nice like touchscreen. Like, oh no, this stuff looked very high tech looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it didn't have yeah.
Designed in California, made from the finest Chinese and pleather we can find.
Yep. They're made in, what'd she say? They're from Santa Monica, I think is where they're made. You have to look up the company. Human Touch is the name of the company. I guess the lady is saying they've been around for like 40 years.
When I used to travel, when I was in medical sales, there was a hotel in Carmel, Indiana, on the concierge floor. All the rooms had those chairs in them. And so you could go down and get some snacks and some booze, come back, sit in that chair, and they'd time out after 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, you'd have to hit the button and then do it again.
Here, I'll put in the intro. Yeah. I'll show you guys the one that actually sat in. This is the one that they had.
So, Travis,
it was on sale at Costco. So, yeah.
With the one with Bluetooth speakers, were you able to hook your phone up and play some Bruce Springsteen's Human Touch?
Yes. Get a little that human touch. A little bit of that. Yeah, but it does have like sound generator stuff in it too. So it does the white noise and the rain and the fountains. Click on that link. That's
so
the one that
just like kind of like to mask whatever whatever's actuating those things, so it's just not.
No, it's actually very. No, you don't even. I didn't even hear it. You don't even hear the thing running. It's so heavily insulated. My God, I can't even imagine what they weigh. I mean, it's just look at it, man. It's like a cocoon. Yeah, the Supernova was the one that I sat in. That beast right there. And it like tilts you back and stuff, and then at the very end, before you get done, it like takes your body and like stretches it out like taffy. You think somebody's like ripping you in half. I seriously thought this thing was going to kill me. I really did.
Okay, so this is not a chair. Yeah. This is like a little grown ass man's car seat looking thing.
Well, but you sit in it like a chair, but then it leans you back and it grabs your legs and ankles, and like pulls you out like Laffy Taffy. I mean, the thing is just
this thing looks like it's what they put in like the deluxe model of the the SpaceX Starship.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I will say this: when I jumped out of that thing, I felt really damn good.
I was going to say, I tell you what,
don't buy direct from them. It's $10,000. Definitely go to Costco.
Yeah, you'll save $1,000 if you go to Costco. Yep.
But it has free assembly and setup.
After driving for 10 hours, you get in one of those things, man, you're right as rain.
Yeah, like I felt like all the tension gone from my back, my lower back, my upper. I mean, like you feel like you just had a massive stretch, like a whole body stretch.
And it'll knock a clot out of your lower extremities, throw it up into your lung. You're dead.
Probably. Like I said, I thought they were going to take me out of Costco on a stretcher. I really thought that I was, a goner.
They're like, we're closing now, Travis.
Yep. Well, see, that
sorry, my ass is bonded to this chair permanently. So unless you get unless this thing's got the nav ball on it for me to drive it home, I don't think I'm moving anytime soon.
I think I'm going to get 2 of those. Oh man.
You got to put you put some tank treads on there and a little and a little like
a gun mount,
a little canopy on there.
What I should do is I should go live stream getting in that thing and explain the experience and then tabletop review it.
Dude,
I am sure that will go gangbusters. I mean, you've got the technology thing, you've got like the sharper image as seen on TV gizmo thing going on it. Then you got something that this thing makes you feel really freaking awesome.
Look at that thing.
And it does something to your rear that I can't even eat.
What?
I'm serious.
Well, is it like a creepy thing? Is it like a creepy Honda thing where it's kind of like just right there? It said Needmaster. Like, let me go back.
Like
here. You walked away feeling violated. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I kind of did, to be honest with you. I seriously thought, man.
$10,000, yeah.
Oh, here's the Alexa built in. That's like $10,000.
Here's what I told the lady. I said, if this thing, when it was compressing on me, I go, if the electricity goes out, you realize I'm going to die, right?
Oh, no, because it said it had a battery backup.
Oh, thank God.
Right now.
I mean, you put your arms in those sleeves, and they like completely like suck you into the machine, and it's like, oh God. Yeah.
Now, we all know that this was actually originally developed as an enhanced interrogation device for the NSA, right?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could crank that thing up. It would make you scream for mercy, man. It was, yeah.
4D massage technology.
I just wanted a waterboarding chair.
That's pretty much it right there. That's it.
But
I will say, when I jumped off that thing, man, I felt pretty damn good. So, yeah.
Oh, look, it even extends itself out so it doesn't tip over.
What's that, Midnight?
I said Moo just wants to know if it massages him from the inside out.
I'm pretty sure that they could get some type of attachment for you.
And then it also massages your feet, your ankles, your calves. I mean, it's like it's crazy.
I mean, for like,
because I've sat like the massage chairs at the mall. Like, oh yeah, this is great. No, this thing is scary.
Now speaking of like mall massage things, have you ever tried those water coffins?
No, I've seen them before, but yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, where it's basically like someone took a pressure washer and just said, "Oh, hey, if we put like a heavy piece of tarp over you so you don't get wet, we can shoot you with a pressure washer."
Oh God, that's crazy.
Those chairs at the airport, that are not this caliber, but it was in the room with all the computer cubicles and stuff where you're waiting for your next, flight, whatever. Guy sat in it. He got out to go to his flight, left his wallet in the chair. So I go over, I grab it, and it's like a Costanza wallet, right?
Right.
I open it up, and there's $3,000 in cash in the wallet. And I'm like, what the hell? So the gate was right next to this little room. So I go to that gate, and I'm like,
for the cash instead of the ID, huh?
Well, I should have pulled the cash out and just like, well, whatever. And so I pull the guy's ID out, and I'm like, is this guy on your flight? Or I said, do you have a, I don't forget what his name was, on this flight? And they're like, yeah, we do, but they're boarding. And I'm like, well, here's his wallet. And I don't know if he ever got it, but
the gal at the ticket counter was like, "Oh, thank you." I don't think.
That thing was that thick, man. It was. I'm like, what? Because I opened it up and I'm like, all hundreds in it. I'm like, am I being punked?
Yeah. Where's the camera? Right?
Is this some type of like honesty or social experiment going on here?
I think so.
That lady you handed the wallet to, she drove home that night with the human touch chair sticking out of the back of her Geo Metro. It was kind of weighed down a little bit, like the rear end of dragon, but she got it. She got it home, man. She had to get the.
Hey, Costco let her finance it.
Yeah, she financed it. So
she's still sitting home going.
Wallet, that's all I know.
She's still sitting home going like, "Oh, that dumbass."
Yeah, pretty much.
She's probably fused into that chair. It's one of those things where this is my home now. I don't care. Just put a blanket over the top of it and hook up an IV and a catheter. I'm not leaving.
They had a brownout that night. She didn't make it into work the next day. Yeah.
He probably had a brownout in that chair when he realized he fucking left the 3,000.
That wasn't brown.
Pink Panther says, "Get 2 of those and put them in a theater room. Just don't pop in a porn video." Oh God.
Oh God.
I honestly think the ID part
to use never enough ammos. For that kind of money, it better come with its own blowjob attachment.
Well, if you laid on it other ways, I'm sure it would.
I'm sure if you laid on it the other ways, it would probably fold you in half backwards.
Yeah, probably.
You'd be walking around with you would literally be walking around with your head up your ass.
You'd be dead in 10 minutes. Turn into paste.
I knew it wasn't going to kill me because I didn't have to sign like a waiver or anything before I jumped into it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Gizzard's going to bed.
Hey, Giz, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, thanks, buddy. What do you got going
on? Usual. Fast on Friday nights, early bird jet on Sunday mornings. Monotony in between.
There you go.
And don't forget to mail me my stuff.
Yeah, well,
things?
It may take a month or so. I mean,
it's okay. I'm used to it. I ordered from Palmetto.
All right, guys.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you later.
Amen.
Take care.
I'm actually probably gonna close it up here pretty soon. Anyway, I want to try and get to bed. See if I can just on the off chance I'll be able to make it to the rally tomorrow.
Show, yeah. Well, if I left now.
Yeah, what does it take you to get here? 8 hours?
No, Harrisburg. Probably about 8.
You're good. You got time to even stop and take a leak once, probably.
Actually, George brings up an interesting point. He says, "Sweet, I like."
Just kidding.
Pulling a Yankee on us, walking around those booty shorts.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did you see my shorts?
I don't know. Either that or you have a very oddly shaped rash around your groinal region.
Groinal? I don't think groinal's a word.
It is. Of course it's a word. I just made it up, just like every word that's made up.
It means within the groin area. Groinal.
There you go.
It's a groinal.
Groinish.
Yeah. Well, how about you do a Google search and see if groinal area is a word?
No, I don't want that on my browser.
Pops up a picture of Yankee.
I mean, hey, no square is a word, so come on.
No square. Did anybody fall for the Olight flash sale?
Which one?
No, I didn't.
You
The
mean
one this week.
Oh,
there it is.
yes?
You did the
Well,
same
hold on.
one.
Hold
You did
on.
the same one.
Well, here's the thing, because I don't want to get Midnight kicked off the air. So how about I just remove this from where I got it mounted? Oh, you poor pleb! You got the tiny light. I didn't.
Oh yeah, it's a UV light. It's fucking cool.
Oh, ew,
wait, was that
boy.
what the?
You better not be putting that on your using that.
Yeah,
on your
don't
keyboard.
look directly at it. You don't want to.
I should have used that on the human touch chair before I jumped into it. Make sure I pick up
Sure.
everything today.
Oh, there you go, Ape.
Yeah, I got
PL Mini 2.
the mini
Let's
the
see.
mini Valkyrie 2 with the.
That's a good one.
Well, here's
This
the
is
thing,
cool.
because I
Look,
didn't
like,
have
look.
any.
It like show. Oh shit! It's not gonna show it.
So that's what the little i3 was. Was a UV.
Yep, the i3. It shows
Okay,
your.
I didn't look that close because I already got like a handful of the i3s. I give them out for Christmas gifts. No, I went with the.
And it shows the. I don't know if
safety
it'll show
strip.
Oh shit!
You might have to turn off whatever light you got on.
Yeah, it doesn't work if you've got a bunch of other lights on.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, you can see the safety strip.
Oh God, look at all the marks on his face.
Look at all the cocaine marks on that nose.
Oh no!
But yeah, I fell for the flash sale.
I didn't want to, but I had to. But that Seeker, that son of a bitch, that thing's bright.
Oh, hey, have you tried holding it? Have you tried holding it like, say, a quarter inch from a piece of brown cardboard when it's on turbo mode?
That thing will start a forest fire.
It will start a fire.
It will. It starts smoking
Yeah.
pretty quickly. I mean, just for shits and get. I mean, yeah, it's no joke.
That thing is cool.
How long will that one run?
It'll run 9 minutes on high, right?
No, for the turbo mode where it's outputting the 3000 lumen, I think it's like a 2-minute runtime, but then it just kicks it down to 600 lumens.
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes for like an hour or so. But if you put it on like the lowest moonlight setting, I think it's 7 days it'll stay on that very, very low setting.
Yeah, the moonlight setting. Yeah. Then I had an extra lanyard.
Yeah, it's this very low. It's like just this very low setting for like if it's like pitch black and you don't want to ruin your night sight or get that.
And it's about as light as my big ass mag light.
Oh no, this is lighter than my.
On the lowest setting, it's about as bright as my mag light.
Okay, I thought you said light as in weight, because this is actually fairly light. This is a lot lighter weight than even that little Blackhawk I've got. You got the bronze AA one.
Yeah. No, it's just the FDE, and that's going to be my new EDC because I used to use this one, but it's so fat that I don't like it.
Yeah, that one that you have in your right hand, is that the AAA or the AA?
This big blue one?
Double A.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the 5T. I had the 3T, the one with the AAA. That was really nice.
Yeah,
those are the ones that. Yeah, I've got one of those on my keychain, but I figured, buying freaking CR123s or even getting them in bulk from Amazon, there's a hell of a lot more expensive than the double A's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and did you notice, Moo, that these T5s are what, $20 normally or whatever? That the price for the mini Valkyrie and the light, you're getting like only $5 difference, but with the Seeker 2 and the PL, you were getting basically the T5 for free, or the 5T for free.
Yep.
UV light to sterilize the insides, only if he swallows it and can manage to pass it.
I'm a spitter.
Well, you can pass it the other way too if you have trouble swallowing it.
Well, I get enough protein.
Yeah, Maglite. I miss my Maglite. I love my Maglite.
I still have mine.
A battery leaked inside of mine and ruined it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I found that out with Rayovac. They kind of leak.
However, I think that might
they
be
make repair kits for them.
That might have been what was in. Yeah, mine was the inside was bad though. It ate away at the inside.
And I mean, well, for the years, Maglite was kind of like the standard for, if you want like a decent flashlight without going like boutique or something, it's, oh, hey, get this Maglite. It comes with a free extra set of batteries and a multi-tool for like $50 or something like that.
Well, the old ones too used to come with an extra bulb too, which was nice.
Oh, everything, even the little solitaires, the little AAA solitaires came with an extra bulb in the cap.
They still do.
Some do.
I bought one not long ago that's got the extra bulb in the cap.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. That was always such a cool thing that they did. Now the the bulb ones are so much. I mean, now with LED, it's like you go back to one that has a bulb in it, and you're like, oh, this thing blows.
Yeah,
this one I put a LED in this one.
Yeah, I finally upgraded upgraded mine too. However, if anybody has like the 2 AAA or the 3 AAA incandescent ones that they're like attached to and is broken, let me know. I picked up a repair kit at a gun show. It was from big stamp on the top of it from Maglite in, they're not Oxnard, Ontario, California or whatever.
Yeah.
I picked this repair kit up for like $2 because I had like 3 or 4 of these. I mean, it's got freaking everything in it.
I can't wait for gun shows again.
Yeah.
I mean,
we always had one down in Harrisburg on like Father's Day weekend, and they're not going to have one. That was always one of my fun, like favorite things to do is just take that day and wander around,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to take my son there, and he'd buy one of those battle hatchets. Next time he'd buy a cheap ass like switchblade, brass knuckles, just stupid blowgun, But it was great. We'd go there and get a hot dog, and just wander around all day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Now he's 21, lives in Detroit. He doesn't give a shit.
Now he needs those things.
He loves those brass knuckles, huh?
Yeah.
You mean those metallic keychain holders?
Right. Yeah.
Man, I forgot they actually sent like half dozen of the actual full tail cap assemblies for the AA models. I mean, they're black, so if you don't mind a mix and match.
I'm pissed. I got an email from PSA that the upper I wanted to get was back in stock. I can't afford it.
Oh,
I was like, son of a bitch.
Check it out.
What's that?
It's got the bulb.
Oh yeah,
it's got
the bulb's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that always was kind of a little odd seeming to me. Because like the first one I got was it's a little AA version.
Mm-hmm.
The bulb in the AA versions came with like that little plastic holder, but then with the big Maglites is just it's a little piece of foam rubber that we just kind of wrapped it in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: Maglites still kick ass, especially if you need a blunt weapon as well as illumination tool.
Don't talk about that in Detroit.
Blunts or illumination tools? Both.
I'm going back a ways, but remember Malice Green? He got beat to death with the police Maglite.
I was unaware of that, but I do know that. Well, I know that one of the like firearms and sporting goods distributors whose catalog I used to get secondhand, apparently Maglite made a 8 D cell, one that would take 8 D cells long.
Just hook a car battery to it.
Well, they called it their police special.
Jesus.
It was this whole kit. It either took the D cells or it came with its own. I forget whether they were like rechargeable D cells, and it had basically like a freaking wall mount that you could hook into it and charge it. It was like this whole kit. But yeah, I remember one of the guys saying, "Yeah, well, I don't know. Around here, they always called them whitey whackers." I shit you not. That's what they. If it was something that was a 3-cell or longer, that was a whitey whacker because it made such an excellent. Legend.
I always had the 3 cells, but I've seen 5 cells, but I've never seen anything bigger than a 5 cell, and the 5 cell is monstrous.
Yeah, and they used to make like the medium ones that would be like a 2 or a 3 C. When was the last time you saw anything that took C cell batteries?
I got a mag light in my truck that has is it 2 or 3 C cells?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always kind of like looking at the batteries, it's a D cell's somewhat bigger than the C cell, but holding them side by side, this is a 3C and this is a 3D, that 3C is like kind of a lot handier.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's weird with C cell batteries too. Like when you have a kid and you get a Christmas present or something, and they open it up and it takes C cells, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Okay.
Somebody. So
I'm beginning to believe that all this Google tracking is a thing. Let me pull up a Chrome tab here. So I just typed in Google here quickly, Maglite 8 cell.
Wow.
And
oh my God.
Well, let's see. Napa oil filter. Maglite heavy duty. Maglite adapter.
Oh, wow.
Oil filter. 60 handy torch.
Handy torch. Oh, it's only $30
on eBay.
That's actually no, that's Walmart.
No, this here is
eBay. Whoa, hold on a second. Look at the price of that 6D handy torch.
Yeah, it's
30-06.
30. Yeah.
30-06.
Nice talking.
Isn't that weird? Look at that.
More light.
Walmart.com.
More than a cop. Oh, here we go. Amazon.ca. Preppers discount. What is Maglite SWAT? Police SWAT issue heavy duty aluminum flashlight. Oh, they only go up to. Oh, what was this comparison? 6-cell White Star. Okay, maybe it was only a 6.
It'll cost you $30 in batteries just to fill it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Holy shit! What are you gonna pole vault with that thing?
I know, it's monstrous, isn't it? Jesus.
I'm gonna get one.
Well, I mean, once again, it was listed as a police/SWAT thing. So, what are these? Huh.
Oh, it keeps loading. I won't take it. Oh, here it goes.
Okay, maybe spike end mod.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Well, you know what? I'm seeing all these adapters and stuff. I'm almost wondering if
I got glass breaker on mine.
Right here. It's a Maglite D-cell to 5/8 by 32 adapter. So apparently some shenanigans happen around these things.
Shenaniganer.
Maglite heavy duty incandescent from Wish. Yeah, no. Okay, I was not aware that this was a thing.
This glass breaker may be threaded 1/2 by 28.
That's interesting. How to create Supreme Ultimate Maglite. Cell.
In case you're wondering. But that's a
1979 to let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
70s.
70s.
What? Oh, I got 2 of those.
No. Yours are like half Ds. They're not a full D.
Oh, I got Ds. D's nuts.
Ape is C4 Defense says, how's Minneapolis going to fare when they disband the police department? Forbes just reported that they are voting to disband it.
They voted to disband it, but the mayor vetoed it. I don't know what the hell their whole thing is. let me put it this way. The first week I was listening to the scanners and watching the news and that, and honestly, it was making me ill. So I just kind of made a decision of, unless something pops up in a feed or on Hasty Headlines or Timcast, I just wasn't going to kind of be dealing with it. I don't know. When all I heard was the one thing from Tin Pool saying that they were going to try and do like a community-based policing and everything. I don't know, man.
That too.
I don't know. If they were smart, they would set up this thing and like slowly over the next year or 2 or 5 kind of be transferring stuff over to this community-based policing or whatever the fuck they're going to be replacing it with. But, it's 2020. People are pissed. People want things done yesterday. They want it now. To hell with whatever consequences may or may not happen with, all this stuff. So, ooh, that's a dude. Just look how long. That's like wow. Okay. Yeah, I honestly, Sarge, I cannot tell you. Don't you know that mag lights can make solvent traps? No, obnoxious. I was not aware that they can make solvent traps because I just use them as, as directed by the manufacturer. Now, is it just me, or did anyone else think that the gold mag lights just were kind of a little
blingy?
Little too blingy.
Well, I had
sorry, I'm not.
They do the iodized red, they do the blue, they do the silver, lots of different colors.
We do. You know what? We had like 4 of the red ones, and that was mainly so that we could find them easy if there was an emergency. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in the dark, but so you can see them better. Like if you have a room and you have it on like your shelf, or we'd have one in a back room or something. That's why I got the red ones.
Well, we always get like different colors, so it was like, okay, this is your flashlight.
Oh yeah,
quit taking Dad's out of his truck. There you go.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. It was showing that it was screen sharing this tab, but I was on the wrong tab.
That doubles as a nightstick, huh?
That is ridiculous.
Freaking Moo's mouth is watering looking at that thing.
Hey, Sarge, just out of pure curiosity, I'm not. Okay, I'm partially doing this to make fun of your age, even though I've met you and you're not that old. Do you remember them using this in policing when you were like going through the academy or something like that? Like these big ass freaking combination nightstick mag lights.
I can't imagine them using something that damn big. That's crazy.
You got to remember, like back in the 70s and 80s when they first started attaching lights on guns, it was literally like wooden blocks and zip ties holding these big ass mag lights on like their Colt SP1s and stuff.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I gotta get one.
Yeah, there it is next to the little solitaire. No, wait, that's not a solitaire. That's like a AA solitaire.
No, that's not. That's one of the little single A's. Or triple A's. Single triple A's, yeah. I have one sitting right here.
Oh, Sarge says, yes, he remembers you. So, Sarge, was this like a consolidation thing of you can have instead of having a nightstick and a mag light, it was, here's your mag light, it doubles as a nightstick? Or was it just, hey, look at how freaking big this thing is? I mean, it's a mostly male-dominated profession, so I would think, hey, look at this thing I have. It's bigger than yours would be...
So is that
possibly some departments could have started banning nightsticks, and so instead, went with a heavier flashlight.
That's true. Yeah,
I know some security companies had issues with that years ago in New York.
Was that one
owners in the Midwest where these lights were somewhat popular due to their extended runtime? With a fresh set of D cells, these lights may have not been super bright, but they could run for 11 plus hours. As with their other 7Ds, these have only seen marginal use and little wear, owned a handful. Oh yeah, I could see these being... Oh yeah, I mean, with an incandescent bulb, having something run for, 11 plus hours was real feat.
Okay, hold on right there a second.
Yes, sir.
I see from time to time folks talking about mag lights having an 8D, 10D, or even larger lights. That simply is not true. So yeah, the 7, it looks like the 7's the biggest one.
Okay. Longer, yes, but more cells, no. This is because the brightness and runtime did not increase the old style PR ball. Oh, celled extension tubes for Ds and Cs that will allow the use of extra cells were popular around 2007 when adding more alkaline or lithium cells allowed for the use of very bright industrial incandescent bulbs, but has since fallen out of favor with LEDs. Okay.
I did find a website that had one for sale. They said that the buy now was $449 on it.
Oh yeah, I just scrolled down here. Where was it? Okay, so the biggest question is
it weighs 4 freaking pounds. Oh my god!
All right, right here. So the big question: what are these lights worth? As of this posting date, I've seen them go between $200 and $400, depending on age, demand, and condition. They aren't the rarest mag lights, but they are the most expensive. When was this posted? This was posted in 2017. So
yeah,
these were made for $7.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean they were only made for 3 years, from 79 to 82, and were very slow sellers due to their size. Yeah.
Can you imagine what one of those would be worth in an unopened box?
Well, it all depends on how crazy your
it
all depends on how crazy your Maglite person would be.
Yeah.
Look at you guys, man. You guys buy 6 flashlights at a time, man. What's going to stop you from wanting one of these, you know?
Well, here's the thing, though. But it was 6 flashlights for, half the price of what that is.
Oh, I know. I know. But there's always somebody that's going to pay a crazy price for something.
Plus this fancy-ass blue one, it's rechargeable, and you can start freaking Spider can start fires with it because it's 3,000 freaking lumens.
Start spiders on fire?
Probably if it landed on it.
Yep.
How many lumens is that? How many lumens do you think they were?
Hold on.
A couple hundred?
I don't know.
Probably only had just the standard, whatever the standard.
Yeah, it was a standard like Krypton. Okay, right here. The
APR 120.
Yeah. Later on, Krypton. Oh, yeah, these were like the last generation Krypton. Oh, that was a moth. Krypton bulbs for 151 versus the 100 lumen for the originals. I don't know. I bet I'm thinking that with the if like with Moose there, you got that like actual Maglite branded recharge or replacement LED module. That thing would probably run for a week.
Come across a couple old flashlights, working in a sense, remodeling places that, you'll take a ceiling down and something will fall out and hit you in the head. And some of them are quite old. It's like the Rayvac Handyman, which has like a little slip ring that you can push. Thing still works. And another one that has kind of like a weird glass lens and an octagon front. Rayvac Case Rotomatic. But I looked them up years ago. I can't think of the dates or whatever, but they were quite old. So, but I was shocked they both still worked. And one of them had Bright Star batteries. I actually had the batteries as well that didn't leak. They got like a star on the top of the tip and everything. Flashlight batteries.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, old flash. I mean, even like some of the cheap flashlights nowadays or any of the incandescent ones, it is like the simplest electrical circuit you can do. You've got a switch, you got your power source, and you've got the bulb as a load. There's not a whole lot to go wrong with them. I mean, it's not like, like Moo's and like the one Moo and I were holding up later, like it's got a freaking microprocessor and voltage management stuff in it to know that, oh, hey, this thing's getting really hot. I need to like downshift to 600 lumens so I don't melt and stuff. I mean, an interesting fun fact. Do you know why flashlights are called flashlights in the U.S.?
Why?
Because, okay, you were talking about the real old ones. Some of the original ones, they didn't have like a switch. It was literally like a little brass ring that you would flick up to make contacts with another point, and you wouldn't leave it on. You would literally just flick it up to flash it on and off. Because if you left it on, the battery would drain it in like literally 2 or 3 minutes. So it was literally you flash the light on to quickly see something and then turned it off. So flashlight. This interesting point of useless information is brought to you by the History Channel of 2008, back before Pawn Stars and Amish Mafia was a thing.
Let me call a buddy in here. He knows way more than flashlights than I do.
Say they were both made in the U.S., including the batteries, so that's a good thing anyway.
Yeah.
So hey Rob, what's the most interesting thing that you found during a renovation? Like something stuffed in a wall, whatever. You had to have found something cool.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of weird things. I found walls that looked like walls that were actually wallpapered cardboard. And there was kind of dead space, I guess you could say, hidden off, which I thought was strange. It was done with cardboard. Old pornos, stashes of shoes. I seen somebody worked at a shoe plant or something because they had all types of shoes stashed in the walls and stuff. Liquor bottles. You'll find a lot of liquor bottles. Newspapers are common.
Yeah,
it seems like a lot of the old builders would, sometimes tag a stud or something and throw a newspaper in or something like that.
Mm-hmm. The house that we just moved out of was 100 years old this year, and when remodeled the kitchen and the basement, I found a wallet. I found truancy papers from the 40s, and I found a Boy Scout medal that was really cool.
I found $20 bills. I believe I think it was from the 20s or 40s. I can't recall.
Was it kind of like it's a 70% size of what the bills are today?
No, they were similar. The bills were similar. It was like a handwritten slip from a bank, and it was under layers of old linoleum that people probably wouldn't think would even exist.
Huh.
I'm trying to find it here on Discord. My dad does cabinetry work. He's been doing that for 40 years or so now. He was helping this guy take out or re-wall and stuff, because he'll do general contracting stuff as well if it's someone he knows real well. And they opened up a wall. Where was it? And they found basically what they'd use for insulation. They took a piece of tar paper and then sandwiched stacks of newspapers in between it, and then put another piece of tar paper on it to make an insulation bundle. And this is upside down, but screen share. It was a 1940 or an August 1940. And yes, I know it's upside down. Edition of the Pioneer Press. But it was this Auto of Tomorrow section. Everything, it wasn't old newspaper you find where it's all yellowed and shit, the outside, couple layers, but everything on the inside was still bright and vibrant colored stuff.
It's crazy, man. Hey guys, I got a jet. I'm gonna let you guys. I gotta take little man out for a walk, and then I'm gonna hit the haze.
Right,
so cool.
See you, buddy. Thanks.
All right, y'all take care, man. Have a good night.
See you, Travis.
Laters.
Night, Trav.
The old corgi's got to drag it.
Hey, don't you make fun of Ammo Dog?
Nobody foreseen them banning the 3-wheeler in the U.S., huh?
What's that?
Yeah, that comment
said nobody's seen them banning a 3-wheeler in the U.S. We're seeing it in that picture there. So don't see many cars around here that are one-wheeled in the front.
Oh no, this is one wheel in the back.
Okay.
I bought a brand new Yamaha 3-wheeler in 1983.
Yeah.
Yamaha 225. I could ride a wheelie for about 2 miles on that thing.
Nice.
It was awesome. That's where I got all these scars. I don't know if you can see them. I wiped out big time.
Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always had dirt bikes, three-wheelers, dune buggies, Jeeps. I mean, all that shit when I was growing up.
I mean, if you really want to get down into this, let's see. Where's my windows? Get too many windows open.
Can't see the scar on my face, but I got attacked by a German Shepherd when I was 7.
You probably deserved it.
I got a scar on my nose. I got a scar on my nose from a dog bite too. I got nipped.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's. I was gonna say, here's my story. I was at my friend's house. She was eating dinner, so I was dicking around out in the yard. It was February. I was climbing a tree in February, so it was icy. I was up in this tree. I frickin' fell out of the tree right in front of the dog that was eating his dinner. So not only did I fall out of the tree, fucking dog bit me in the face. I almost lost my eye.
No shit.
Yeah. I might have you beat on there. I almost lost one of my nuts to a cat.
Beat on what?
Your nuts to a cat? Well, quit putting peanut butter on your nuts.
No, it was not that. It was, we were remodeling. We'd added on to our house, and we had gotten we'd split our old bathroom, or they got turned into a hallway, and one of the old bedrooms got split into 2 bathrooms. Well, for whatever reason, since someone couldn't take care of their cat and apparently just wanted the cat to have a cat but not take care of it, cat's litter box was in one of the bathrooms. I went in there to get deodorant, and I don't know if that cat had been dropped on its head or if I had stepped on the cat. I shit you not. The thing climbed up my leg. I still have scars today, pretty damn close to some. Who the hell am I kidding? I don't have a wife or girlfriend, so I really haven't had need for them. Pretty damn. I have claw and teeth marks on my inner thigh. That thing climbed up and got. It was a little freaking gray ball of fury and tornado. Freaking thing.
I'd give up a nut to have both my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about how 3-wheelers are unsafe. I mean, look right here. Light, movable chairs. Not bolted down or anything. Movable chairs in your vehicle moving forward.
I don't see anything wrong with that. They're not going to.
I mean, neither do I. I mean, look, it even has a shitter for you right here. Lavatory facilities.
Ooh.
And a 2-way convenient microphone and radio and microphone.
You had me at shitter.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that would be kind of nice for road trips of having your own.
Can you imagine dropping a big fucking deuce right in that car?
Well, I mean, it's got it says lavatory facilities. Oh, it has what does it say? Rock wool jacket for heating motor. Mechanically.
Does it at least have mini blinds or something?
I don't know. I'm thinking like, well, they've got like a seat here, so whether that's like the shitter or whether it's a little cubby behind that one seat that's like fixed there.
What's funny is
that's not what I want to see looking over in traffic.
Flexible glass.
Can you imagine getting an accident like half log?
Well, yeah.
Oh, right here. Controls may be passed from place to place so the can be driven from any seat.
Not any.
Yeah,
you don't know that. They could have a tiller in the shitter.
Look how huge that thing is, though.
So this is back when mushrooms were cool.
It says it's 6 foot 3 inches wide, built to permit sleeping.
That's back way bigger. Like that's not the scale for sure, because that looks way bigger than 6.5. That looks way bigger.
It says wide. 6 inches wide.
Yeah, but still, that looks way bigger than 6.5 feet wide.
You better email that to Elon Musk.
Well, now, Honda, hold on a second. You got to remember how
Honda.
Who?
Sorry, Midnight. I was thinking cars. Well, no, just think back to like cars from the Depression era or the post-war period about how fucking big those things were. I mean, these were things where you could literally have you could have a set of seats, one facing forward and one facing backwards, and you wouldn't be touching knees. You'd have to like stretch to kick someone.
We put 5 people in the trunk of my Buick Electra 225.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that chick will be enthusiastic about the dump. I'm pretty sure they'd be enthusiastic. It'd be one less thing for them to bitch about of like, I can't sit. I'm not going to.
I gotta go pee.
I gotta go pee, and I'm not going to go ask that person for the key for the restroom. And it's a horrible restroom anyway. You know that.
M. Gabriel says,
think about it. What type of storage tank does it have? You know,
I'm willing to bet that it does not have a storage tank.
It's gonna be one of them things where the car pulls off from the light and there's a big pile underneath it, or what?
No, I'm sure. Hold on. Another story time.
Remember Dave Matthews Band in Chicago? They dumped their shitter from their motorhome right on the bridge.
Storm during. Well, speaking of motorhomes, a couple of friends of mine, they used to do this as kind of like a half project and something to make money. They take old school buses and convert them into basically low rent RVs. And their favorite place to, before someone caught them doing that, of putting the shitter or putting the outlet tank, was putting the shitter right over one of the rear wheels.
No.
So that when you were going down the road and taking a shit, it'd hit the wheel and it just like fling the shit away from the vehicle and just mesh it up.
Yeah, but all up in your wheel well.
This thing's
it was a dually.
This thing's got a bunch of MIM parts on it too. It says hardware made of iron powder pressed together and baked like cookies.
It's a 6 hour
cookies,
such as soybeans and milk. Well, no, hey, soybean plastic has just recently kind of become a thing.
Bunch of MIM.
So the kids can lick the car when you're stuck.
Hey, you laugh, but it has flexible glass. So just like the Cybertruck, you can freaking throw a steel ball at this and it will bounce off.
No, not in the display. It goes right through.
Yeah.
Oh, here it has
lighting, just like a mag light.
Knee action or airplane landing gear equipment on all. That makes no sense. Knee action or airplane landing gear equipment on all wheels. Squeakless springs built up of concentric shells of rubber and steel. Blowout guard and flat tire protectors. Running boards eliminated. Bodies protected by a continuous belt of resilient material.
Wow. Some of that shit's real though. The run flat tires and all that stuff.
No hinges or door handles. So this is like, like this push button and opens the door. So this like
Pimp my
slides.
Car.
Oh, it's like the minivan doors, except on going out, it goes like in and then slides in.
You know, all my tires are running flat.
Oh, hey, I almost forgot to tell you guys about this. I missed it. Apparently, after I'd woken up and right as my folks were getting, hold on, right as my folks were getting into my driveway here, apparently, right outside my freaking door, the state troopers had like 3 or 4 sections of stop sticks put up, and apparently, because they're like
you going to the party store.
I don't know what the hell is going on. Like I said, I was sitting in my pajamas, sitting on Xbox because I just freaking woken up. No, apparently they had like 4 or 5 state troopers there, kind of like waving people away from there. And it's like a minute or so after my folks pulled into my driveway, there was like this brown or beige Tahoe, just like hit all of them, and kind of he like fishtailed a little bit, but kept going. I mean, we've all seen cops; people can run on rims for miles. But once he went through, there was like a dozen or so different, like highway patrol and some of the local and county things, just like zooming right after him. So I don't know what the fuck was going on, but
it's because the truck was brown.
Be happy you didn't have to park.
It wasn't brown; it was beige.
You said brown or beige.
That's still bad.
Yeah. Oh, a portion of the roof made of curved translucent. I mean, yeah, like skylights are just becoming like a thing again in like some of the, I don't know, luxury or sporty cars, like the super duper moonroofs or whatever.
Mm.
What were you gonna say, Rob?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I was looking at the picture again here.
And unibody unibodies.
I think I said it. I don't know. I
Maybe
I left anything open.
Unit body construction without separate sills or complete body molded from plastic. Body may also be built for 3 blah blah blah. Oh, okay, I thought it said unibody.
Okay, I'm not gonna buy a Maglite 7 cell. I'm gonna buy one of those now.
Yeah.
Rock wool jacket for heating motor, thermalistically controlled for air when needed, mechanically quiet, automatic water fillers over batteries. That actually would be not a bad thing. Air-cooled motor, economical operated 100 horsepower engine may get 25 miles per gallon, which nowadays is pretty good for like a decently sized car. Engine in the rear so that it can take the bumps instead of the passengers.
So you think 100 horsepower and that big ass thing? You think?
But it's mostly made out of plastic.
Oh, I guess maybe.
No.
And MIM.
Yeah, it's MIM and plastic. Yeah.
No,
Here's
I
the
don't
highway of
think it would
tomorrow
work.
may look. Shown below where 2 roads converge. Engineers, blah blah blah, double decker, horizontal, whatever. You know what? Let me find my phone here because I think I've got like the article itself.
That big ass thing with a rear air cooled 100 horsepower engine, not going to get 25 miles a gallon. It's going to burn up.
Especially not with like 12 hippies in it.
Two.
Right, a bunch of dirt bags in it. Driving to the future.
Bunch of dirty hippies.
Yeah.
Hey, you laugh, but just think of how much shit you could haul in something like that.
you could
Well,
like literally
if you flushed and hit the wheel.
Getting a fender bender and you're literally covered in it.
No, I like Rob's idea. Just drop a deuce right at the stoplight. There's like a little ice cream cone there waiting for the next guy.
You say that for the guy that's honking behind you, yeah.
You're like,
turbo
flush. Check that out, motherfucker.
So it says there's a bathroom and there's a folding bed. There's a bed. Is that in the same room back there?
Well, no,
that's in the same room.
Hold on, let me zoom in on this guy's pants here. And so, no, because right here it's pointing like this area. Because here, so whether they actually this is a different color. So whether it's supposed to be like a wall here, and like that's your shitter, or if that's like the one fixed in place.
I think that's a seat.
Yeah, whether it's like the one fixed in place seat, and this is like the little, the little porta potty cubby, and then like right here, the bed's like on the opposite side of the hallway, kind of thing. I don't know. Let me.
I had a 31-foot Sea Ray, and I still had to open the door, stick a leg out when I was sitting on the shitter.
Well, I mean, you are bigger than most.
Not really.
I mean, you've got 2 extra legs. I mean, that's not a fair comparison.
Folding concealed bed. Lavatory.
Definitely don't think air cooled is the way to go with something.
No,
that size or anything like that. That's a little.
You're in the back with the pull cord. Son of a bitch.
If you're in the bathroom and you get rear-ended, that engine's right at you.
All right, let's see if I can get this to come up on Discord here.
Some of those older advertisements I find hilarious. I try to look at some of those.
Oh yeah, like the radium suppositories to give yourself that healthy
some
glow.
Of it's like pretty crazy. It'd never fly today.
No.
Like
I mean, back in the days before
it was like
before safety regulations and
class
action lawsuits.
But I tell you what,
one ad that referred to there's no reason to stop beating your wife and da 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 and all types of stuff, which was like normal stuff back then. Which is weird.
with this, it says with the two-way conversation provided by radio and microphone. Who do you need that to converse with? It's not like it's an
like
aircraft.
The jackass who's driving in front of you. Like, hey, what the fuck? You just dumped a turd and it splattered my windshield up.
It'd be like Ron White just goes, "Hey, we're about ready to land now."
Yeah, like who are they? Who is it for? It's not like they didn't have. It's not to be able to talk to. It's not a telephone. It would be.
It's a two-way radio, basically.
You're 5 feet away from the guy. Hey, quit! Hey, can you wipe again? or give me a courtesy flush, please.
Told you not to stop at Taco Bell.
I told you that Del Taco gas station food wasn't to be eaten.
Did I tell this story before? We took an Uber from a bar to a hotel in Austin, and there was a bunch of us in the Uber. We went through Taco Bell and ordered 100 tacos, and the guy.
That's really more on you, man.
The guy on the speaker, he wouldn't even answer us. We're like, yeah, we want 100 tacos. It's not like, well, what kind of taco? No, he's just like, no. Uber driver goes, no, they're serious. They want 100 tacos. So we had to wait like half an hour, but we got 100 tacos.
They were probably so pissed too.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure I got a couple sneezers on that one.
Some of that cheese wasn't actually cheese.
Correct.
Okay, let's see if I can share the article now. Application. Here we go. Yeah, there you go. How would you like this instead of your for your highway interchange?
The hell?
Yeah, it's like it goes.
It's like a circle.
It looks like a toilet.
Well, it looks like it's the four C cells. So you got one here, one there, one. Let's see. You can either go
if you go in
like
there
this way, but if you go up here, is it like one of those roundabout or kind of like a roundabout thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm still stuck in a roundabout.
Oh, and look, you can have your little eateries and stuff here, and squeakless springs. With futuristic eye, the automobile manufacturers are bringing out their 1940 models.
Oh, it's supposed to be out by 1941 or sooner.
Yeah. Let's see. A bunch of the automobile boys meeting in New York recently discussed this Auto of Tomorrow outlined a few of its appointments. They're going to make it different from cars in the 1940s. Different from the cars of the 1940 as your present car is from models 20 years ago. Meantime, development and structural design. Kent Automobile. You'll walk up to this car of the future, press a button, and the door will open. The interior will remind you of a comedy. I hate it when they put spaces between words that don't need to be there. Of commodious room.
So how's the door lock?
That's very interesting. I don't know. I think that if it pushes in, even if you just use, because from I don't have the picture up. From the way it looks, it doesn't like pull out and slide like a minivan. I think it like pushes in and slides in a track. So even if you put like one, like just a bolt the one way to keep it from pushing in, it couldn't. I don't know.
I'm just curious if there's a key to that lock where you push a button or how that all works.
Probably. Oh, here we go.
You got a key fob that just knows it's you.
Nothing will be omitted to make it convenient. Push a button and a concealed bed will roll out from a partition between the engine and passenger compartment. Lavatory facilities to be built in most of these cars with little added cost merely by lengthening the body a few inches. Finally, you may glide along at a fast clip, conducting two-way radio conversations with the folks back home. You'll very likely with this Auto of Tomorrow, the engine for one thing will be built in the rear to take the bumps instead of the passengers. It will be a vastly better engine than is built today. It will operate more economically. It will be air-cooled as airplane engines are today. It will be quieter, and anyhow, your car will be better insulated to absorb the noise. Okay, and then this goes into the highways of tomorrow. Oh. Okay, never mind. Designed by Toledo engineer Harold Van Doren. Okay, I thought it said Toronto. Never mind.
Did this ever become a concept car? I mean, is there one of these actually that exists or something?
If you let me close this out. If you Google, let's see, it's Dymaxion car, D-Y-M-A, Dymaxion car, and this was actually earlier. Let me go images, and just see the look on Midnight's face, like, shut up, quit showing shit. I want to go to bed. Here we are. This, but this is from the 30s. This Dymaxion car.
That thing is ugly.
It's so weird looking, yeah.
Oh, but look at how. Well, I mean, the whole thing was
on wheels.
Yeah, kind of. But here's the thing: it's a 3-wheel with the single one. The power wheel was in. I think it's power. Try to remember if the front wheels are powered or if the rear one is powered. But it'll turn on a dime because that rear wheel will turn 180 degrees either direction.
What could go wrong?
Actually, they've got newsreel footage of, since that rear wheel, or since it's a rear wheel in the back, of literally some poor idiot of a traffic cop, they just drive up on him, like get really close and just basically lock that rear wheel in one position, and are literally just doing donuts around him. They're spinning at a pretty good clip, and it's not doing anything. It's not like lifting up one way or the other. It was because the guy who made it was trying to make the most efficient way of travel and making it like super safe and super stable. I mean, people kind of forget of, with like the 12 airbags and the lap shoulder seat belts that have, how kind of dangerous cars were comparatively back, in the 40s and 50s and stuff of. I mean, we're talking about like the Tucker Car Company. One of their selling points on their car was, the windshield pops out so that when you fly through it during an accident, your face doesn't get cut up by the glass.
Right. Remember the Homer?
Yep. It was Brown. Take dumps, love crying. M. Graviel, I'm still lost in the Eisenhower speech.
Yeah.
We hit a tree doing 70 once in a 1979 Grand Prix. My buddy put his head through the windshield and it scalped him.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
What happened to you?
As a joke, I put my seatbelt on.
And you were okay?
Yeah, it cut my neck. The seatbelt cut my neck really bad, and I broke my collarbone. And my knuckles hit the metal glove box door, and it dented it all in like the Hulk.
Did it break? Was your hand like a maraca afterwards?
Yeah. And Frank, the steering wheel, when we hit the tree, the steering wheel bent inwards like a banana, and then his face hit the top of it where it was bent like that. It broke it over. It broke his maxilla, broke his freaking skull all the way back, and then he went through the windshield and it pulled all of his skin off of his head.
God damn.
Yeah.
And we're both fine.
I mean, if you want to see some kind of, I don't know if you're kind of horrifying but also interesting things, look at like some of the early highway or like the Department of Highway National Safety or whatever of like the old driver's ed films from like the 60s and that, where they'll take like the first high speed things of, here's a wonderful 1967 Mustang or whatever, and they show the high speed of the dummy and that steering column.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know today that steering column nowadays is meant to brake and go under, whereas before, no, you get freaking skewered by that thing.
Yeah, and it was leaking gas, and people pulled us out of the car, and it was crazy. That was one of the accidents I was in.
The first one being your father didn't pull out.
Not nice, man. Not nice.
I know. I'm getting punchy.
Need to mix a drink.
No, I want to be kind of sober. I want to go outside. And the hours I work, it has not been dark enough out when I come home to where I can actually fuck with these flashlights to see like, oh, hey, yeah, this 400-meter throw distance is actually legit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how bright they can, how many lumens they can pack into a small light now.
All the lumens.
It's not. I'm talking about small 6-inch lights that are 2,000 lumens or something like that. It's insane.
Yeah, this little what is this? 3,200.
3,200 on turbo mode. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, but Midnight, you've seen that
battery in it. Jesus, look at this battery. This son of a bitch.
Yeah. It's all battery. Yeah.
I mean, that's like an 18650 is nothing compared to this thing.
I mean, it's much bigger round than even the CR123s, and those are fairly porky things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have one of the Olight Warrior X's, and that thing's.
Oh, you do?
You got one of those big mofos?
Oh shit! What am I showing this for then?
Well, is yours the big one that has like the sensor that says, "Hey, you got shit too close to this, and it's going to catch on fire, so I'm turning off"? Or
no, it's not.
Because one of those. Well, I'm thinking like the real big ones, like they're $250 or $600 ones. Okay, you got like one of the mini Warriors.
Yeah, it's a Warrior. It's a Warrior X. Yeah.
Oh, that was the badass one though when it first came out.
Yeah, it's got like the 4 or 5 diodes. This thing's just got like the little 3 ones.
No, this is a single diode.
Okay,
this one's only got 3.
Yeah,
I don't know what battery this has in it.
Yeah, you brought this up like half hour ago. M. Gabriel says, "Have you seen the laser-excited phosphor flashlights?"
No.
I've got an interesting little story here.
This one's an 18650, 3.6 volt.
Okay.
One of the guys I work with who, I don't want to say pushed me into getting one of these, but it popped up in my head. I forget who it. I think it's Phoenix Light. Makes a white laser that apparently it will, or white laser flashlight that'll shine a beam like 3 miles. Now don't bring the end of your nose like Honda did with his.
What, it's green laser?
Yeah, he has like one of those from Wish.com that's not regulated by the FDA. Lasers that he can use to light a cigarette, and he was just, he's fucking high at the time. He was just kind of, doing funny. He was doing like funny faces, and he just like whether he was trying to like stick it up or get the beam to go up his nose so his nose glowed, but he held it on there apparently for too long, and he could just like bent back like, ow, fuck, that was stupid. What the hell?
Well, when I had my boat, I sold my boat 2 years ago. But
of course. I mean, you had to sell it to recoup all the lost money from the guns that you lost during that accident.
Right. We're at I had a kick-ass slip at the marina. We're at the very end, and the Coast Guard would be going by, and I may have not been sober, but I had this green laser, and I was like shining it on the Coast Guard, and my son tackled me.
It's like, do you want to get us? You want to?
He's like,
you want to get us killed?
Dad, stop it! I'm like, somebody's got to be the parent.
Oh, we were talking about the Midnight. You were talking about whether things were getting worse or better for the riots or that. Mm-hmm. The first couple nights I was listening to the Minneapolis Scanner before they like shut it down when they called in the National Guard. They've got different helicopters on there, and every so often be like, oh, hey, we've got, or this is Sky 3. we're at whatever. We've got people, like 10 or 20 people shining lasers at the helicopter. Go fuck them up so they stop it. Yes, C4 Defense, I would say that was a very proud moment for Honda, setting his own nose hair on fire with a laser that he knew was a burning laser.
Just say no.
Mm-hmm. Midnight's got that 1,000-yard stare.
No, I'm playing with. I finally got my. After all this time, I finally got it to like minimize. Yeah.
Let's start over.
I mean, it only took us going down, 4 or 5 rabbit holes?
Right, 3 hours. I don't know why it was doing it. It just wouldn't. Now all of a sudden, when I clicked it, it actually worked. It did what it was supposed to. It was really weird. Just wasn't responding earlier.
I don't know. We've got 4 people in here now. When we started, we had 5 or 6 before we went live.
Okay. It wasn't because of YouTube. It was because of the browser thing. It wasn't the little thing wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. I don't know. It was weird. Then it just did. C4 says that's a proud moment. Yeah,
for Honda. Well,
anytime Honda gets on camera, it's a proud moment for Honda.
Yeah, he says I meant Moo being so drunk his son had to stop him from committing.
Oh yeah,
he's way smarter than me.
Yeah.
Both the Coast Guard and the FAA do not take lasing incidents lightly. Especially the FAA. They will find you and they will fuck you over.
Yeah, it's funny when we had the boat. We had the boat for 8 years, and I never drank anything while I was running the boat. But when I got back to the dock, Captain was thirsty.
Captain was thirsty for some Captain?
No, Captain. I don't like rum.
Oh, you just haven't mixed it right. Go get yourself some of the cheap-ass Walmart pineapple soda, some crushed ice, and an ounce of rum. Oh, it's freaking awesome, man.
Too sweet.
Well, then add an extra ounce or 2 of the Captain Black.
I'm a Scotch and bourbon guy.
Odd fact: criminal conviction of misuse of a laser device excludes ones from being about to get your concealed carry. Good job. There you go.
Note: he said conviction.
I was actually with 2 cops when I did that. So,
and they didn't do anything.
My son was the one that freaking tackled me because everybody else was laughing.
Yeah, because they're like, "Oh, yeah, you're about to get some incoming fire." Check out Ace Beam 30-watt flashlight. I don't know.
My college roommate, he is retiring in 70 days. Criminal justice major. He's a sergeant in Detroit. And I talked to him yesterday. I says, "What are you going to do when you retire?" Because he's 50. And he goes, "Grow a beard." That's all he said.
Yeah, this Warrior X says it's 2250 lumen when it's on high, I guess.
And how does it run for 2-3 minutes or something like that?
I don't know. What's
this one say?
I don't know.
Ape, did you hook up the little?
Yeah, I get that AccuBeam.
Did you hook that thing to your wall?
Jesus, 320.
Oh,
holy crap!
This wide beam beyond line of sight searchlight transforms the blue laser energy into a broad spectrum, divergent, safe, and bright, incoherent. Okay, basically, it turns laser light into light. Generates a concentrated 500 lumen beams, and this beam can reach a remarkable 2,400 meters away. This high drain battery USB charger, blah, 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 can be used as a diving light, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like this Phoenix one this dude was looking for or looking at, they'd only sell it to LEO and military.
Ooh, Jorge Cortez, Jack and Coke.
Plug the USB right into the battery itself? I've never seen that.
Well, all these are like lithium. Yeah, because you got to have some type of balancing or charging circuit on lithium batteries. So, I mean, it's not that much more for them to, hey, 2-year-old Chinese slave person, we need you to put this USB female adapter thing on it.
Look at that thing. That's crazy.
Beam shot without red filter. Oh, you got the MDF, the FDA approval. Okay, so at 2,000 meters, it's a 3.3 meter diameter beam.
Damn. That's tight.
Well, I mean, it is it's laser ignited. Warning, the use of blah, 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 third party, blah, 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 is a class 2 M2 laser device. Well, because here's the thing on lasers. That flashlight is discontinued, but I can figure out if it was for legal or manufacturing. You know what? I'm thinking it might have been legal, maybe, because the government in kind of a brilliant move of control and containment in that, lasers are regulated under the FDA for power outputting. You can't get anything that's more than like half watt for regular, for regular civilian use. So unlike it being, how we might like to think of it as, oh, hey, we want, this 10-watt laser because laser pistols or laser rifles are cooler than other ones and should probably fall under the prudence of the BATFEEW, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives, and Energy Weapons. But yeah, because you go online and look for like all these fancy, like wicked, awesome lasers. It's a 30-watt output. Oh, cannot ship to the USA. But oh, you got the. So is that the green laser Valkyrie or red laser?
It's the red, but it won't adjust. It's like super low and right. So I gotta.
Have you tried tapping it with a screwdriver? No, not something that soft.
No, I gotta email into Olight.
Say, hey, I know Edge and I know King Travi.
King Travi is not in the Olight crew anymore.
Oh no!
Do they have a falling out?
Yeah, he said they stopped sending him offers.
I don't know. I haven't really checked how many. Has he done like a lot of Olight reviews, or is it just one of those like, dude, we've sent you pretty much everything that we can send you?
He did a couple. That's where I got this Warrior X. He did a drop test. He did a test on it.
Oh, and yeah.
He's like, I really don't want it. He's like, do you want it? I was like, well, hell yeah, I'll take it. I need it. And that was what's funny is that was right when my mag light got ruined. And I was saying in a chat or something how I was like, yeah, it sucks, man. I went to use my mag light last night and one of the batteries leaked and ruined it. He's like, hey, I got this Warrior X. He's like, I don't really need it. I don't want it. Do you want it? So he sent it to me because I needed a cool. I would just have it in here just because I was charging it just to make sure it was charged up. But I usually keep it in my truck. It's a great truck light. Yeah, he had done a couple of Olight videos and they were sending him stuff, and then he had one that I think he broke, and they when he tried to contact them about it, they just never got back
Radio
to
silence.
him. Yeah. So. And
So-
he's like, yeah, and I stopped getting the offers to do reviews on them too, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, I mean, it's like any other company that they don't want any type of bad publicity on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still that I don't know if you call it stigma or that of, oh, well, one bad review and people who either don't like the product or that will just make it into its own echo chamber of, oh, see, it broke, they suck, regardless of the fact of. I think we might all agree here that, okay, something broke, but the company was really super chill about it. They're like, hey, don't even bother sending it back. Just throw it away. We're going to send you something new, and we're going to send you like a month or like a year's worth of extra batteries for your troubles. I mean, something like that would go a longer way of saying, hey, it broke, but the company took care of me and everything. Or the company really took care of me, then, oh no, they never break. They're perfect kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens for sure.
Especially since it's made out of the world's finest Chinesium.
Kinky's out there hating on me because I won the Yankee patch.
The Kool-Aid patch?
No, it wasn't the Kool-Aid patch. It's the FUD one, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was the not a FUD. Yeah, that was a cool one. That's a cool patch.
I don't know. I just know I won.
Yeah, that's a cool one to have.
I don't know. Apparently,
put on eBay.
Put it on eBay for like $100. I bet you'd buy it for $100. He's got money to burn.
That was an easy one. That was an easy question.
I mean, if you really want to make people jealous or really want to get into bidding more, you can put a Kool-Aid patch up on there for $500 and see if someone's stupid enough to buy it for that. And then immediately get taken down by Kraft Foods.
Yeah, I was going to say, get a cease and desist letter from Kraft.
Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? Hired goons. What do you mean hired goons?
Yeah. We're here to break your kneecaps and take your patch.
Okay, but I'm housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
It's actually E Honda. He in Colorado. This is vacation home.
You want extra towels?
Housekeeping.
When I was in sales, we used to go to the front desk and order extra lotion and extra towels for my buddies that were staying in the hotel.
You didn't go? Did you ever go up to the front desk and say, "This is kind of an awkward question, but do you have like any body bags or like 55-gallon liners?"
Do you have 8 gallons of acid? Because I got a skinny crack whore in my tub.
I mean, I got like one hell of a hair clog.
And her head.
You just pop the glass tiles, the little mirror tiles, on the top of the cheap ceilings, and take a peek in there.
Ooh. It's full of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Watching me defile the remote.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you find in those ceilings.
Oh, when I worked in the hospital, we had a gang member come in. We had to handcuff him to the treadmill. And we had 2 security guards. They came in not only with their gun belt and sidearms, but they're both carrying shotguns. And about a month later, the bathroom outside of our door from our department, up in the ceiling tile, there was a bag of clothes, sawed off 870, because the guy was going to escape. So that was crazy, man.
It's like, ooh, free shit.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a secured unit in our hospital. We did an upper GI test on Jack Kevorkian from Jackson. He came over from Jackson over to Muskegon for his procedure. Dr. Death.
Yeah.
So when you guys found all that, was there like a big staff meeting of, okay, guys, we know it's tempting. We know it's tempting to get money from people on the outside, but we have to remind you, NFA items cannot be stored in the ceiling tiles.
See, that's what it was. I'm like, what's the measurement on this shotgun? Oh no, can't do it.
No, I mean it's not like it's not like you could just throw the barrel away and say, hey, I don't know. I mean, look, dude, I don't know who you paid to like get your shit to smuggle you out of here, but they didn't give you the barrel.
That dude, he was crazy, man.
All right, I'm spent.
On that note,
let's shut it down.
All right,
shut her down.
Let me pull her up.
Got any closing plugs? I don't.
I don't. The rally tomorrow, if people are able to go, 10 a.m. at the Capitol in Harrisburg. Other than that, no, I don't have anything going on. Rob, you got anything going on?
Oops, sorry. No, nothing at all. Just thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, buddy. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, back at the outhouse, the shit was getting deep.
What about you, Grape Ape?
Grape
Ape. Hey. That's already copyrighted. You want to get us sued?
Grape Ape.
Yes.
I got a lot of nothing. A lot of nothing to do.
I got some of that.
All right. Let's keep your eye out for early watch. Hopefully we got early watch back here pretty soon. And other than that, I don't have anything. So maybe
if you're at the rally, man, you and Black Cat do a little live stream or something.
He could. I wouldn't be able to. I don't have 1,000 subs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could photobomb his live stream.
Good.
You're like, wow!
Like, wow! Yeah. Like, ooh, shuffle.
Just run up and slap his phone out of his hand.
Yo, pancakes live matter.
Yeah. Pancake lives matter. Holy, I get my ass kicked by somebody. Just you'll see me on the news beaten to a pulp.
Oh, when you're reading when you're reading who was out there at the very beginning, did you see what I typed as my first comment?
No,
that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. What was it?
Let me see if it'll go up that far. No, it won't. No, Grim, I think, was in here and just typed first. Mm-hmm. I typed last. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Just a reminder, we will see you next Sunday after the movie of the week, The Pancake That Ate Akron.
There you go.
So, on that note, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonas of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back sometime, hopefully with a newly revamped and revitalized early watch. Also, keep an ear out for Black Cat. Make sure you don't back over him or hit him with your rocking chair. It gets him really upset.
Yeah.
Gun Channel's Community Monday night programming at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's hasty headlines with never enough ammo. Matt did try doing it later in the evening at like 7 p.m., 6 p.m. my time. So if you like that time of it being later, let Never Enough Ammo know, because he's trying to find like a happy medium of getting news and commentary to people on the East Coast as well as people on the West Coast. And, tell him Abe told you to bitch at him. At 7 p.m. Eastern, it's the Polite Society Podcast on Facebook. And Travis P11's Caliber Corner is no longer there. It's now on Saturday. So go look for it yourself. It's not a Monday thing, so it's not my job to tell you what time it is.
No.
At 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clover Tax, MOA Monday on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded on YouTube. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geek Podcast, The Weekend Geek. At 10 p.m. Eastern, like never to be seen again, it's intentionally left blank. And every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Check out GunTube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and help support them. For less than the price of a stick of beef-flavored gum, you too can support a video sharing platform and keep it free from corporate sponsorship. Unless somebody decides to pay Night Strike other than, patrons. But for cool and unique 2A swag, like a wonderful, not the Robbie Robot patch, that was one off, like a wonderful jello-colored Keltec, or a Wolverine patch, or a lovely Oro, or maybe that creepy bald bastard who's standing above Kool-Aid guy. Oh, wait, no, that's not a gear. Anyway, for cool and unique 2A swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. And remember, a hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy, and in these troubled times, keep your guns oiled and your chambers loaded.
That's right. That's right. Do those things. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great night. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Take it easy. See ya.
Peace.
Please refrain from urinating in the cryogenic food storage